Good afternoon. Thank you very much for joining us for this live stream. Bear with us just for a couple of minutes while we figure out a couple of bugs in the system, and we'll be live very soon with live coverage of SGS Ace Women's 1 versus Henley College. We'll be back very shortly.
Hello everyone, welcome to the stream. Today we are at a rather overcast SGS Wise campus, joined by myself and Reggie Hughes, ahead of a day full of rugby. Over to Reggie for the team sheets.
Hi guys, here's the team for today. Number 1, Lily Tarrant. Number 2, Ava James. Number 3, Lily Young. Number 4, Martha Haynes. Number 5, Ella Thorne. Number 6, Neve Starling. Number 7, Ruby Sims, and number 8, Elizabeth Bolton. Now for the backs. Number 9, Harriet Blackett. Number 10, Marilla Tringali. Number 11, Ella Brown. Number 12, Betsy Bridges. Number 13, Isla Boylan. Number 14, Dion Lee. Number 15, Imogen Phillips.
Now over to Max Baker and the team for the commentary. Thank you.
Thank you very much, boys, and welcome to SGS College versus Henley College. Apologies for the slight delay in getting started. We have ever so slightly missed the start of kickoff, but you join us here at the first scrum of the game. My name's Max. I'm going to be your one of your commentators for today here at SGS College, and joining me to my right is Harry Ryan. Harry, thanks very much for joining me.
No problem.
So Harry is studying sports media with us here at the college. Harry, tell us a little bit about your sporting journey. What kind of sports are you into, and what made you want to study here?
Well, the course looks brilliant. It looks so fun. The opportunities you get on the course are just epic. They're amazing, and I've loved rugby for 5 years now. I think I've played rugby for 5 years, and since starting, I fell in love with the game. Fell in love with how their whole ethos is around club level, and how different teams treat other players a bit better than other sports like football may treat you a bit more like a professional, whereas rugby is a bit more family orientated.
Excellent, thanks Harry. I promise everyone watching that I didn't pay him to say that. So we join us, quick penalty here taken from Henley. Henley scoring left to right in this first half. Moving down the line ever so slowly, but the ball fumbled there, and SGS looking to pounce, and they have, I believe. No, they haven't. The ball's been won back by Henley College, but the referees called a stop to the play due to a knock-on. Now, I'm just going to take you through our setup that we've got here today. Unfortunately, we're not able to stream from our gantry. The adverse weather has made it so. So we've got 2 touchline cameras for you, and we'll do our best to give you a little bit of colour on the commentary as well. But a scrum here, SGS's scrum, being put in by scrum half Harriet Blackett, who also plays for Dings Crusaders, along with many of the team here today playing for SGS. So ball gets put in and good scrum there, put out, but the referee doesn't like it and has awarded a penalty to Henley College. So Harry, obviously you've only been here for a couple of weeks, but today is quite a big day for us, a double live stream. Be honest with me, are you worried about it?
Very nerve-wracking, to be honest. It's live, so nothing can go too badly wrong. And yeah, it's going so far. Good.
And here comes the first try of the game. Number 15 going down over the line. An excellent start there. That's Imogen Phillips. I'm just completely double checking that we've got the right teams and that SGS are playing in white because we haven't quite been given the right team sheet yet. But we are going to be going over Forte conversion, and that's 5-0 for now. Harry, you said you started playing rugby. Tell me a little bit about your rugby history, who you play for, and what kind of got you into the sport.
So just joining different sports, trying to find different sport that I enjoyed, and rugby found me more than I found rugby. My dad was friends with the coach at Kingswood from footballing days, and yeah, we both went on, and I've been playing for 5 years, and it's been great. Been started as a prop, and now we used to play centre. Had a break for this year to focus on college, but yeah, it's been fun.
Good stuff. Moved out of the pack and into the pack. It's lovely. Not quite managed to convert that try, so unfortunately that is going to be at 5-0. So that was Mariella Tringali there. Unfortunately not managing to convert that, but a wonderful start for SGS. Just 6 or 7 minutes into this first game of our double header that we've got here at SGS College. So just to remind you, we have SGS College versus Henley College women's teams coming up in this first game. Then we're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back at 3 o'clock with kickoff of the men's ace game versus Peter Symonds College. So we are going to be with you for a good few hours this afternoon. Myself and Harry are going to be joining you for this first game. And we have kicked off yet again. Henley choosing to go to kick deep, and SGS taking that on nicely and moving it down the line. It'll be a good start for SGS and particularly coach Matt Belbin, who'll be very happy with how things have gone so far. Matt's been with us at the college for over a decade now, and has obviously trained his teams very well as they look to make a break. I think that's Imogen Phillips again going down, and scrum half Harriet Blackett doing a good job of running the show here. Good start for SGS, Harry.
Yeah, it's been brilliant. I mean, dominant, you could say, and they go through again. Big tackle.
Looks like a last-minute replacement carrying the ball there. Apologies, we don't have the names of the replacements, but we do have the names of the starting 15. Well, we had a couple of injury replacements here before the game. So, as I said, Matt Belbin having to shape up his team a little bit, but not that it's made too much of a difference. We've got great squad depth here at SGS, so plenty of players to choose from, and lovely racking the ball over there despite the turnover. You'll see here at the college it is a damp and dreary day. We give full credit to the SGS College students who are out there in the rain bringing you this coverage. Harry, you got the nice job of being indoors behind the mic.
Yeah, exactly. Nice, warm. Just got a little window open, but except for that, it's lovely.
Always comfy in the commentary box. But yes, as we wipe the lens and make sure that we can see, again, we would like to give a big shout out as we move into this ruck. A big shout out to the sports media students who are bringing you this coverage today. We've got around 50 students that are involved in either the setup, commentary teams, cam ops, presenting, vision mixing, on the audio desks, taking photos, and all within their first 2 weeks of being at college, or if they're a second year, within their first year and 2 weeks. But all of our further education students have had a fantastic start to the year and have done really well in putting this project on in the first few weeks of the year. So well done to them. Settled down a little bit since that first try. But Harry, what do you think SGS need to do to keep this momentum going?
I feel like taking it up to the game line. We've broke the line so many times already, spreading out to the wing like we have been, and I just think we need to take advantage of their kicking ability. Both sides so far haven't really been shown, haven't really been that good. I mean, the ball barely leaving the floor to go out to touch there, but I think we just need to keep taking up to the game line, keep making those yards, and then spread it out wide.
Yeah, good stuff. We've you mentioned the wings there. We've got some real talent on the wings. So on the right, we've got Fionn Reid, who plays for North Bristol, and on the left, we've got Ella Brown, who plays for Dean's Crusaders alongside many of the team here. But Ella's also an under-16s National Cup winner in 24-25, and has played for Gloucestershire County again alongside a couple of the people in this squad, as well as Betsy Bridges, who plays alongside her inside centre, who's also played for Gloucestershire County. So lots of talent in this team today. Just as a reminder of that team sheet before we go into the scrum. So in your scrum, putting in the hard graph today. We've got Lily Tarrant, Ava James, and Lily Young across the front line. Second row, we've got Martha Haynes, a sports media student, and Ella Thorne. Your two flankers, Neve Sterling and Ruby Sims, and then rounding off the pack is Elizabeth Bolton. And I'm just going to take a pause before I tell you the back, because the SGS are just breaking through the line.
It's a good dummy.
Yeah, they're looking very dangerous out there, aren't they, Harry?
Breaking the line a couple of times already. It's been looking good.
So, and then just a reminder of your backs today. You've got scrum half Harriet Blackman and fly half Mariella Tringali, Ella Brown, Betsy Bridges, Isla Balin, Fionn Reid, and then Imogen Phillips, your try scorer for today, rounding off those backs. So lots of talent in the squad, lots of promise for this year, and a great start to the first game of the season here at SGS. So a penalty given there to Henley College, who kick for touch, and we'll take a short break in play. So as I said, we have two cameras operating today. Unfortunately, due to the weather, we've not been able to get up to the gantry cam. A bit windy up there for our students. So we've got two pitch side cameras for you, and myself and Harry will be giving you the best commentary experience that we can. But it's not just this game we've got going on today, is it, Harry? We've kept you busy today.
Yeah, I got the men's game later on presenting for, so you'll see me on camera. Anyone who wants to see my face, stay along for that. Yeah, we've got a men's game after. It should be good. Yeah, we've got plenty coming for you today, so we're going to be live with you for several hours. So feel free to join us for the whole show if you'd like to, but we are also going to be dipping in and out of obviously coverage for both games. So we have another scrum lining up here for SGS College. So pretty even in the scrum today so far, but we'll have Harriet Blackett, another Dean's Crusaders player, putting in at the scrum and hoping to start another attack here for SGS. But the referee just stopping play at the moment. Doesn't like something that he sees in that front row, I think. So we're going to give the referee a chance to reset things before the ball gets back in play. Looks like the SGS tight head and the Henley loose head have been pre-engaging or something.
Yeah, I think the referee's just going to try and stamp stuff like that out, or give him a couple of hints on how to keep those scrums up. We'll try and move that camera along the line for you. SGS doing their best to try and send things out to the wing. As we said, we've got two tricky wingers today, but they're keeping the ball at the moment, doing well to ruck over and support the team. And moving the ball rather nicely. This is a well-drilled side, really well drilled by Matt Belbin. Looks slightly forward, but there goes Imogen Phillips again, who has managed to put the ball over the line. A wonderful try, second of the game for her, and that puts things at 10-0. But again, another very quick break, Harry, and they're looking like that's going to be the play for today.
Pretty similar to the first try, off the scrum, comes out pretty quick. we take a bit more phases coming over to the right and then back over to the left. It looks like that's their weaker side for Henley on their right, our left. It looks a bit weaker for them. So we've just got to keep dominating on that side, keep using our pace, and we'll be fine.
So it looks like Fionn Reed, our right winger for the day, is going to be having a go at kicking this over. Hopefully she'll have a little bit more success. So if this goes over, we'll be at 12-0 to SGS. So we'll wait and see if this goes over, and then we will bring you the scorecard up on our screen. So 10-0 at the moment, and we'll see if this one goes over. Has the legs. No indication from the referee if that went over. So let's assume that it has. And we'll check in with our people on the ground. So we are sat at 12-0. So SGS Women's Ace 1 at 12 and Henley College 0. But Imogen Phillips is looking a dangerous player early days, isn't she, Harry?
Yeah, not half. She's ran down that left-hand side so many times already, and it's looking pretty promising. Slip over there.
Yeah, it's a tough conditions today. I'm just trying to kick there, but it's wet, it's dreary, it's really slippy out there. I would expect a few knock-ons. I would expect a few slips and trips, but yeah, I mean, you know, if you played rugby, perfect rugby conditions, Harry?
Yeah, love a bit of rugby. It's not wet enough though to play the kicking game where you just kick it into their half and wait for them to get the knock-on and gain that advantage. It's wet enough to distort your passing and distort your handling, but it's not wet enough to kick deep and hope for them to drop it. Got another line out though for Henley women. Goes up. Oh, didn't look straight.
No, not quite. They wanted their referee has again called a halt to that one, but again, ball's going to be slipping about all over the place. It's going to be tough conditions out there today, as you can see from our camera angle here. It is a dreary day here at SGS College, but a wonderful start for SGS women's team. It's really lovely to be able to bring you a live stream. Obviously, we streamed the men's games last year, but a big showcase day today with both teams in action, and we'll be bringing you action of SGS College Ace 1 men's team against Peter Symonds College this afternoon at 3 o'clock. But the first focus is on this women's game. The referee's called a penalty to SGS, and we're going to kick for touch to hopefully have a little bit more success down that left wing where Imogen Phillips has already put 2 tries over. A fantastic player who plays for Dings Crusaders, also an under-16 National Cup winner last year, and has played for Gloucestershire County as well. So yeah, lots of talent in this side. Harry, if you were the Henley coach, what are you saying to your team at the moment? How are you trying to get them back into this game?
Well, every penalty they've gotten so far, and they've gotten a lot. And to be fair, we've let go a lot. We've given them a lot of penalties. We've given a lot of silly penalties. Knock on again there, looks like, but Henley have got the ball. So I reckon they should stop going for the corner because they keep kicking to touch and it's not working. It's not working. They keep slipping or something's happening. It's a wet ball today, so it's not a game where you want to be having to contest in the air for a kick or for a catch or for something. So I just don't believe that that's the way that they should be going.
Absolutely. We did speak to one of our SGS players before the game this week, but unfortunately we didn't have quite enough time to play that out before the game. But we're going to bring that to you at half time. We spoke to Lily, who plays in the front row for SGS. So we'll play that for you at half time, just to give you a bit of an insight into what the preparation has been like and what they did expect before the game from Henley. A very physical side was the line that Lily gave us. So they're coping with that very well at the moment. As SGS line up to try and stop Henley getting any closer, but good turnover there.
Going back for an advantage?
Looks to be that was a long advantage if that was back for that first.
Like.
Oh, okay, good.
Like the arm movements was suggesting offside.
Good spot. This is why I have another expert next to me, just so I don't miss those things. Harry, am I right in saying this is your first time commentating?
Yeah, I did a little bit on the deck at the South Gloss Cricket. Got a chance to do that through my dad's friends and stuff, so that was a lot of fun. But it's first time commentary, except for doing like little expeditions and stuff that didn't go out to anyone. and didn't actually really matter. But yeah, it's first time commentating on a live game, and it's been a good game to commentate on so far.
Good. Yes, it's a tough job, but we've done fantastically well so far, as of all the students who are involved. As smooth as this operation obviously seems on screen, there's always some sort of hiccup that goes on. So we've done well to get this live, and just a big shout out to everyone who's involved in the room, in the commentary room with us at the moment. We've got Kira on and Jude on vision mixing. We've got myself and Harry on comms, Alfie on audio, and then we also had Alfie and Reggie presenting as well as Rich, who's who's our tech guru. So just a big shout out to everyone in the studio with us today. Out on pitch side, we've got lots of people helping out as well. We've got Olivia, Amelie, and Adrian on camera, with one of our HE students, Spencer, helping out, and Stephen, Karan, and Casey, our staff, who are helping today. So lots of people involved. We've had a whole crew setting up this morning, and it's been a good opportunity for everyone to learn, including myself. So as we take a small break in play, just a reminder of the score. SGS Women's Ace 1 are 12-0 up against the Henley College, and we've got, as I said, just a short break here as the teams regather on what has been a pretty miserable day, although storms were forecast for 11 o'clock and we've managed to get away with it. So we'll hope that continues. We will continue to bring you all the action here today as Henley look to break through that SGS line. But SGS is staying pretty solid. They're not letting much get through them at the minute, are they, Harry?
No, front row and the whole pack is looking pretty physical. We're looking like we're matching them brilliantly and even doing better in most cases as we clean the camera again. But our backs are also looking very technical and very, very fluid, and very their hands are looking good compared to the weather and the forecast and everything that's going around it. So
yeah, absolutely, Harry. Recipe to a good rugby team. If you've got strong forwards and tricky backs, you're going to be doing well. Here comes Imogen Phillips today, who's been absolutely wonderful so far. Lovely handoff there, not letting anyone get past, and offloads very nicely to our right winger, Fionn Reid, who has a clear run to the line, dives over. Who wouldn't want to dive over in this rain? Absolutely wonderful play. Another break in the line by Imogen Phillips. Very unselfish this time to offload to Fionn Reid, who puts the ball over fantastically, but they just can't be stopped at the minute down that wing, can they, Harry?
It just feels a bit like deja vu, really. It's a bit of the same, and I think Henley aren't doing enough to contend that, and at the moment it's just looking like a SGS game to lose, really.
Absolutely, yes, you are right. It's going to be a tough one to lose, especially in this first half from here. I think SGS just need to keep their heads and make sure that they're confident going into every challenge. Keep the ball, as Fionn Reid, our try scorer, looks to make it 7 points for her today. Although we are still trying to find out if that first conversion went over. But if this does go over, then it's going to be 19-0, and that looks like that did. Lovely. We got a sign from the referee this time, so we know that went over. So we're looking at 19-0, and if we're being completely honest, it could potentially be 17. We weren't sure if that first one went over, but we will find that out for you. That is the cut thrust of live broadcasting for you.
I think we'll take the more points, to be fair.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Let's go for it. So 19-0 at the moment, and if we find out any different, we will update you. So we are probably about 25 minutes through this first half, as SGS have settled nicely into this game. Henley struggling to find any breaks in the play between that SGS line. Forwards playing very well, keeping them at bay at the minute as we move down the right wing this time. Who are doing some very good work at keeping that ball in play, as we bundle through their line. Apologies for the camera angle just there, but Harry, if you're playing in this game, are you continuing to bombard that left wing if that's where you're having any luck, or do you think at sometimes you've got to try it over the other side and try your luck over there as well?
I feel like the ways that we're getting the most attacking threat isn't just by going down that left-hand side. It's by moving the ball over to the right with the forwards and hitting them with almost like a piston up the right, up the left, up the right, up the left, and then we're hitting that left with quick ball and quick hands, and they're just not they're not dealing with it well, Henley, and I just think we just got to keep doing that until it doesn't work. Because if it's not broken, don't fix it, really.
Absolutely, yep. I think you are spot on. Use that left while we can. Another slightly questionable lineup from Henley, but they've managed to keep the ball. It looks like that went backwards, but it looks like SGS are doing their absolute best to win this back. Some lovely committed play there by a couple of our forwards, so I can't quite see their number, but yeah, very good tackle there as Henley continued to try and find a break in the line, but having no luck, just absolutely running into a brick wall at the moment. And
SGS line speed is the thing that's killing them at the moment, and almost an inception now, which would have been home and free, but...
Yeah, they're looking very sharp. The referee just playing advantage there after that knock-on. Almost that's going to be a forward pass there. So, bit of a respite for SGS, but a very good start to play indeed for them. But yeah, Henley struggling at the minute, aren't they, Harry?
Yeah, it's not looking good for Henley. It's just everything is going well with the forwards, but I just don't think the backs are physical enough to stop them. Like, you look at that 9 there on screen, like dead centre of screen at the moment. 9 and 10 looking pretty tall for your average 9 and 10, but it's not changing anything really. It's just making them a bit more easy around the wings to get past. That right side wing for SGS, their left side is looking very physical, looking very good as we win a penalty.
Interesting, yeah. Interesting that Henley have got their number 12, their inside centre, taking the ball out of the scrum. Obviously, a confident passer, maybe looking to pass the ball down the line to their fly for scrum off to make some breaks in that SGS line. But like we said, having no luck. So just a reminder of our coverage for you today. We are currently bringing you live coverage of SGS Women's Ace versus the Henley College, first game of the Ace season. That's going to be followed up at 3 p.m. With our men's game kicking off, SGS Men's Ace versus Symonds College, and that will be brought live to you as well as soon as we kick off. So we're going to be live to you for a long time today, so thank you very much for joining us. We've got a long and proud history of rugby at this college. Some fantastic names have come through and played here. We're also hosting lots of exciting teams this year during what is proven to be a very popular and exciting Women's Rugby World Cup at the moment. England versus Scotland playing in the quarter-final this week. So lots to look forward to, and hopefully SGS can keep up this good form. But almost slipped through there with Henley, but that's where they've not had any luck. But it looks like they're going to keep trying at it, and they're getting there, aren't they, Harry? They're getting close.
They're making ground slowly and surely. Am I right in saying that I can see World Cup pads over on the other pitch?
You might indeed, yeah. We are very lucky to be having a World Cup side visit our college today. Not much more that we can say other than that, but like I said, the facilities here at SGS are fantastic. And if you're interested in playing rugby with us or studying with us, then our applications for rugby for the rugby academies will be open very shortly if they aren't already open, and you'll be able to speak to Dan Cox and Matt Belbin about joining our rugby teams as SGS make a break, struggling to bring down a fantastic move from our hooker there, who is Ava James. And SGS doing well to keep the ball. Henley have had a lot of possession in the past 5 minutes, but SGS managing to keep hold of things really well at the moment. And just as we continue to move our way down the line, SGS managed to keep hold of the ball with some good ball speed, trying to find the breaking players. They've had so much luck, but unfortunately, ball turned over. It does look like that went backwards, but SGS have picked it up again, and the referee is going to stop play there because of a knock-on from SGS. So, bit of action, but SGS seeming to just take it slowly, not force anything at the moment. Harry, if is that the right play? Do you think just try not to go overboard? You've got a lot of rugby left to play, and try and protect the lead just for the moment.
Yeah, I feel like we've got a 19-point lead already. It's starting to rain outside. We can see it on the windows in here, and it's starting to get a bit more tricky in the conditions. So I think we just need to take it a bit slower now than what we did at the start, because at the start we were starting to play with a bit more pace. I think now is time for the forwards to do their work and put their hard graft in.
Absolutely. So Harriet Blackett there running out of the back of the scrum. She's still got it moving forward and doing really well again to find the space as we come along the try line here. But Henley look like they have turned that over. So another lost ball from SGS, but a couple of those so far. So need to be working on the handling ever so slightly, but as we said, tricky conditions today. There looks to be a gap there. That looks ever so slightly forward, but a referee coming back to what looks to be potentially a knock-on from Henley to be an SGS ball, potentially.
Was he signalling for a forward pass there?
Yeah, it looked like, it might have been forward pass, actually. Yeah, it did look slightly forward. So we will go to a scrum.
Yeah, it's
There
there.
we go, yes.
Pass.
Yeah, Henley scrum for a forward pass. So you join us about half an hour into this first half at SGS College. About 10 minutes or so left to go in this first game that we can bring you from SGS College here at the Wise campus. Hoping for maybe a little bit of brighter sunshine for the men's game, but as I said, fun rugby conditions. And just a reminder that we are live on YouTube, and we're going to be live for the rest of the afternoon as we bring you this double header at our Wise campus. So an excellent start from SGS, who lead 19-0. Just a reminder as we go into this Henley scrum that if you are interested in either studying or playing rugby with us, studying, we still have some places on some courses. It's not too late to join, so you can come and visit us this week to find yourself a course. And you will be able to speak to our wonderful staff about what might fit you. If it's next year you're interested in, then come and speak to us or visit our website. You'll be able to visit the rugby page if you're really interested in playing either men's or women's rugby and benefiting from the fantastic coaches that we've got here. And if it's studying, then we'll have an open day being advertised very soon. We've got one in October, one in November. So come and visit us if you can to start your journey here with us at SGS. We're very lucky to have some fantastic students with us this year. When I say some, I mean all of them, of course, including everyone around me here sat in the commentary room. As I said, we've got all of our students on vision mixing and commentary, audio, cam-opping, and this is a completely student-run live stream, so we're very lucky that everyone's got involved today. But back to the action here. SGS penalty kicking for touch. We're not far from the try line now, Harry, are we? Do we try and squeeze one or two more in before half-time?
I feel like we should. I feel like we can. I feel like there is tries left on that pitch still that maybe we can get, and I think from this line out is a great opportunity. The ball is getting wet, so I wonder if they go to a front ball sort of scenario, maybe go to that. Maybe it goes that tight head prop right there at 3, and she takes it in. But no, I don't think it's a back ball situation. You start seeing the rain starting to come down a bit harder now. And it's not a game now for quick hands.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, keep the ball again, like you see there, struggling to keep hold of the ball at the line out. But yeah, Ava James just floating one over that hasn't quite managed to keep hold of the SGS play. But by the looks of things, we're not far from turning it over. Oh no, Henley have put the ball down to pause the game there, but the referee looks like he's going to bring it back for, was that another forward pass? Maybe I couldn't quite see what he was.
Taken over the try line by the Henley players and then put
down. Apologies, yeah, I thought he'd come back for something else, but yes, yeah, we will go back for a scrum. Good spot, Harry, again. My eyes and ears today for anything that I've missed. But we will have an SGS put in at, again, Harriet Blackman, another of our Dings Crusaders players, alongside her college commitments, putting the ball in there. Taken out the back by number 8, Elizabeth Bolton, but looks like that was just knocked on as she drew that out of the back of the scrum. So a shame there that we've not added another 5 to the scoreboard there. But again, Harry, this is dangerous, isn't it? SGS College, they don't really look like letting any points through. Henley have really struggled to break that line, and we're having a lot of luck down this left-hand side, aren't we?
Yeah, looking quite strong. We're looking quite good. I've noticed, though, that we've put in the 9 in closer to the scrum, closer to the try line, and then we're putting the 12 in at 9 for scrums closer to the our try line, which I don't know if that's an option that they're going to tap and go or play it quick off the 9 there, being the inside centre, or if that's an option, or I don't know what's happening, but they've seemed to be swapping that 9 position round quite a bit, and it's interesting to watch and try and find out their tactics there, because there obviously isn't just something like she's better at putting the ball in or something because they're swapping.
Yeah, they've obviously got some sort of plan there. A bit of versatility is always good to have, but at the moment they're struggling to find a way through this SGS College side as Harriet Blackman again puts the ball in unsuccessfully at first, but did come back out. But I think the referee's gonna ask that gets replayed. Just a reminder of who we've got across the scrum. I do believe we've had a replacement though, so actually we'll hold fire. I believe that is Ella Thorne, who has been replaced, maybe due to a late injury. But across the front line, we've got Lily Tarrant, Ava James and Lily Young. Martha Haynes, a fellow sports media student, at number 4, as Harriet Blackman almost makes it towards the line, very close here. SGS keeping the ball. Mariella Tringali stepping in as scrum half there to offload the play, and that's picked up by Ruby Sims, who she managed to get that over? That has gone over. Excellent. Another try for SGS College here. Topping off a wonderful first half. It looks like we've still got about 5 minutes left, but that is a wonderful way to end, maybe to end that first half here at SGS. And I believe that was Ruby Sims, our number 7 for
Ruby
today.
Sims.
Yeah, another so a Kingswood player putting that ball over the line, and hopefully we can put another 2 points on the board. But not the same as the other 2 tries we've had, Harry. But nice to see another player getting on the scoreboard, and very solid try there. What do we make of that one?
It was a good try, nice, gritty. Got in with the dirty stuff. It was pass out the back. I don't know what happened there. It was just fumbled around and it went backwards, but got hold of the ball again, just ran over the try line brilliantly, and it's showing that we do have that strength, we do have that determination to get over the line, not even just in the go around the outside or in the wing. We've got that strength and we've got that determination to go back over and use our forwards to get over the line.
Absolutely. So here lines up Fionn Reid to kick this one over again, hoping for another successful conversion. And that one goes over as well. Another signal from the referee to put the score at 26-0 to SGS in this game versus the Henley College. We asked to try to find out if one of the early conversions went over, but we've given them the benefit of the doubt for now. So it's 26, could be 24, but we're going to go with 26. We are reaching the end of this first half in what has been a wonderful first half for SGS women's team here at Wise campus. Harry, if you're going in at half time, Matt Belbin, the coach of SGS, what are you saying to your team?
I think we started off the game with quick hands, so I think that now isn't the game to play. As you can see on the camera already, you're starting to see raindrops form and you're starting to see everything is getting a bit more slippery and the handling's getting a bit worse. So I feel like maybe now is the time to start kicking the long game and kicking the ball far into the opposition's half to see if you can win a knock-on, maybe in their 22, or if you're lucky in their 5 metre.
Absolutely, yeah. SGS, big tackle there, but moving the ball down the line very quickly, looking like they've just lost out to the Henley hooker, who's picked up the ball. But SGS really tight on this line. They're not giving him too much space to move as we pick up the ball there, and that is Imogen Phillips, who's again finding the space. Not quite managed to pick that one up, but it's dropped and picked up by our number 8, Elizabeth Bolton, who offloads very nicely, really making good use of the ball. Some excellent handling on show here as Martha Haynes tries to force her way further down the pitch there. Really nice ball handling from SGS, and that is a wonderful run there from our hooker for the day, Ava James, who manages to get herself on the score sheet. I spoke way too soon in that last try. Of course, we've still got time for some more. A wonderful piece of play there. Excellent handling, but that was more the same, more brilliant play from SGS. And Harry, that tops off a brilliant first half, doesn't it?
Well, it just shows the forwards they're putting in the work that usually you see your backs doing, and it's showing that the forwards here are even quick enough and are strong enough and brilliant enough to just push through the line and make those yards and make those hits into the opposition players and just push them off and bounce them off in some cases. It's just looking a bit sad for Henley now. It's looking a bit like a rainy day out that it hasn't gone well for Henley.
Yeah, it's a shame that it's everyone wants to get their season started off to a good start, and it hasn't quite happened for Henley today. As we see if we can convert this with Theon Reed, our winger. Looks like that might have just gone slightly wide, so not quite through for that one. So that brings us up to 31-0 to SGS. But yeah, as you were saying, how it's tough to come here. It's a tough place to come, SGS. You know, there are supporters out here braving the rain. It's a big rugby day here at the college. As we said, we've got two games, double header, both being live streamed by media students here at the college, and it does make for tough reading if you're a Henley player or a Henley fan. So let's ask the opposite question of what we asked earlier then. If you're the Henley boss and coach, what do you kind of say to them at halftime to make sure that they come out with a bit of drive in that second half?
I do feel like the same sort of thing. You got to be kicking into the opposition's half, trying to make them mess up, trying to put the mistakes onto SGS and make sure that they're not doing the right thing and making them mess up. Get a scrum into their half, into their 22, and then work from there. I wouldn't say do quick hands. I would say maybe the 8 and the flankers, then go into touch or into contact after that, and then work off maybe your centres going into contact, and then maybe your props. But yeah.
Good stuff. So that brings us to half time, and before we hand back over to our presenting team, just a reminder that we are at SGS Women's Ace 31, Henley College 0, a fantastic first game for SGS Ace. So right about now, myself and Harry are going to take a short break, and we're going to shortly hand over to our presenting team of Alfie and Reggie. Over.
Alfie, how do you reckon it went so far?
I think it's clear that they've implemented their hard work and dedication in pre-season into their first game. 31-0, they look pretty comfortable.
Yeah.
I think they have pretty much run away with it. I can't really see Henley working their way back into the game. What did you make of that first half, Reggie?
Well, 31-0 is hard, but it's not impossible to come back from. And yeah, I think they might have slipped away with it this game. Good tries, good conversions.
Couple big hits.
Yeah.
I think they will look very fit. I think they keep going. I think everyone on the pitch seems to be working hard, particularly some of the forwards for SGS. Couple good tries. Yeah. I'll now hand back over to the commentary team, and we've got an interview with an SGS player.
Thank you, boys. Yeah, we're going to hear from SGS player Lily.
Welcome. It's great to have you here. May you introduce yourself and what your role is for the team?
Hi, my name's Lily and I'm a part of the SGS Female Rugby Academy.
Nice. How excited are you to get back into the new season?
I'm actually really excited. I think this season's definitely going to be a good season. I think there's a lot of success coming our way, and I think the girls are all really excited to get back into the league and have a go. Yeah.
Have you got any goals individually or for the team for the upcoming season?
I think my individual goals is just to keep working on myself, just keep going at it, keep just being the best player that I could be. But for the team, I think we've got a lot of talent this year. We've got a lot of people who want to get high places, and we've got a lot of people who just, I think, have so much passion for this team and just really want to be on that pitch and wear that shirt and play. So I think those are our goals, just to be playing with each other all the time.
Obviously, you've got new people coming into the team. How have they settled in, and have you done anything to help them settle in quicker?
The first season settled in really well, to be fair. I think we've spent a lot of time off the pitch as a collective. We've done activities outside of rugby. I think that's how we've bonded really well. We're all quite close. We're all very friendly, quite friendly with each other, and I think that's a big reason why I think we're going to do really well this year. And I think it's important to have those friendships and have those connectivity with each other.
I'd agree. Opening fixture up against Henley College. What do you expect from them as a team?
Henley are a very, very gritty side. They will fight and keep themselves in the game. I think it's important not to underestimate them. I think we will go out and we will do our best, and we're very capable of winning against them. But I just keep ourselves in the fight, keep ourselves in the game, because it's not going to be an easy game.
100%. Thank you for joining me, and best of luck on Wednesday.
Okay, welcome back to our live coverage of SGS Women's Ace versus Henley College. Very short half-time break there, and we are back to the live action. So Henley kicking us off here. Great to hear from Lily at half-time about what they were expecting from Henley College before this game. But you join us at 31-0 to SGS Women's team as Henley kick us off. So Harry, what are you expecting from this second half from both teams?
I'm expecting SGS to be even more dominant than they were before, and I feel like they should be. They deserve to be. They just need to keep their heads up and their eyes on the ball, because it's very easy at this point in the game to go, we've won it, let's relax our team, let's relax. And I think they need to keep playing in a way that they feel like they're still at 0-0 and still need to win. So, and get some more points and work on this goal difference or point difference.
Yeah, absolutely, Harry. Well said. So we are at, as we said, 31-0. Harry giving you a little bit of a rundown of what we expect from this half. All credit to him for his first half of commentating as well. We've done a very good job. We've had a couple of replacements for SGS. Again, unfortunately, we don't have the names of the replacements on our team sheets, but we will still be bringing you all the commentary from today's game. Just a reminder, if you've just joined us, of our setup for the day. So we have got 2 games coming live for you today. This first one, as we said, halfway through, SGS Women's Ace 1 versus Henley College, which has gone very well so far. And then after this, we'll take a short break, and at 3 o'clock, we'll be going live with SGS Men's Ace 1 versus Symonds College. So bringing you all the action from both games. You will have a different commentary team in the second game, and every student that is involved is going to be swapping roles. We've got around 50 students involved today, which is absolutely wonderful. And if you're watching, give them some love in the YouTube comments, because they have done a fantastic job of bringing you this live coverage. We've had crew setting up in the morning. We've got all the team with us here today, and then we've got another crew coming in for the afternoon. So we absolutely love the chaos here, and we don't make things easy for ourselves. So if you're interested in doing something like this, if you'd like to get involved with commentary, with presenting, cam-opping, anything like that, you can have a look at our sports media course. Big tackle there. Sorry, I'm just going to interrupt myself there. That was Ella Brown putting her body on the line there. That was more important than what I was saying. So if you are interested in studying with us, you can have a look at our course on the website and get in touch with any questions. And we're looking forward to seeing as many of you can at the open day in October and November. But I'm going to stop doing that. I'm going to stop plugging because people want to hear about the game. Henley getting very close to trying on a good start to this first half, and they're moving the ball well. Very good ball speed, but SGS holding firm at the moment. We're getting very close there. Referee just having a look.
Held up.
It looks like that was held up. Big celebrations from the SGS players. Wonderful play to keep that over the line. And it is just not happening for Henley, is it, Harry?
No, it's if you can't hear it on the stream, the screams from the girls, in a positive way, obviously, they're so loud. You can hear it from the commentary box, and we've just about got the windows open. It's big screams, big cheers from them, and they're so positive with each other, and it's good to see, to be fair. Like, Henley look like they're quiet. They're very quiet, this team. I don't know if it's because they're 31 down or if they're just not gelled in together enough yet, but it looks like a team that is very disappointed with their play today.
Yeah, it's a tough time to come. I mean, this first game of the season, what we've got to remember with these with college teams is that lots of these players are brand new. You know, we've got a couple of year groups here playing at the college, but lots of them are completely brand new, haven't played rugby together before, and this is their first game of the season. So always going to be tough for both teams. But SGS edging things out here today. But we are sure that Henley will come back later in the season with more positive results. And hopefully, as will SGS, as they continue to do a fantastic job of stopping Henley getting over that line. At the minute, the referee not seeing any reason to give a try, and it looks like that's been held up again. Some fantastic defensive work by SGS, who are doing some just doing whatever they can to keep Henley's score at 0, and it so far has been a wonderful job by especially some of their forwards, but that's exactly what we want. Now the job really, Harry, is to try and get it a bit further up the pitch, isn't it?
Yeah, we've been in our half for most of this half, and we've just started, but it's you start as you mean to continue, and this half looks like we've dropped off the pace a little bit, and we're not retaining the ball pretty well, but looks like there's a scrum to Henley at the moment, and the 12 with the ball again instead of the 9, whether that's because they want the 9 to be more creative in the midfield, or if that's more of a brute force option. I don't know.
Yeah, I've never seen that before. Interesting. Like you said, it could be for 12 to offload, and 9 likes to have a little bit more time on the ball, or have the options to spray out wide a little
Almost
bit
like
more.
a second 10 sort of scenario.
Yeah, it's interesting. I've like I said, I've never really seen that, but
Big contest from SGS.
Yeah, that is
straight out.
Very similar pack weights. It looks like they're not really moving against each other. It's there's no clear winner in these packs. We heard from Lily at half time saying that Henley were quite a physical team and want to get at you, but SGS are doing, especially this pack, are doing all they can to stop that from happening so far.
It's looking like a very high scrum at the moment, but they get the ball out quickly this time. Bit of fumbling around with the hands, but don't matter. Nice little switch.
Yeah, moving the ball down the pitch very nicely, attacking this left wing that SGS had so much success from in the first half. Is one of the Henley replacements. Doing well. Choosing to go down the other side. Just about managed to keep that one off the ground and avoid the knock on. But they have found a gap. Another big tackle from Imogen Phillips, who has been fantastic today. 2 tries on the board, set another one up, and isn't letting anything get past her. And again, SGS have managed to held that ball up.
3 already.
Wow, 3 in the space of about 5-6 minutes in this first half. As a Henley player, Harry, you must be thinking, what more do we need to do?
It's got to be so frustrating because they're doing so well in this half. They've come out fighting, they've come out strong, and I know how it feels to be on the losing team. I mean, playing for Kingswood under-16s, we lost quite a lot, and it was a team that we knew what the losing feeling feels like. But when you're in a game and you know that you're at the gain line so many times, and a team is just finding luck or whatever it is to gain that advantage over you and get lower and keep that ball up.
Yeah, if you're the coach, if you're Matt Belbin here, actually before I go on that, Imogen Phillips is on the run. Is it going to get a lovely bounce? Just finds the kick again. Hasn't quite got the pace to match the SGS players, and that has been pulled back by the referee. Unsure what that one was for at the moment. But as we were saying, if you were the coach Matt Belbin, you're probably that mixture of incredibly pleased at the defensive work, but also kind of really hoping to get further at a pitch. You don't really want to be stuck there for the whole second half, do you?
Yeah, it looks like we've not been retaining possession well enough that we did in the first half, and we've stepped off the gas a little bit, but our defensive work has looked to step up, but that's only because we've had to. That's only because that they've had the most attacking possession, and they've been in our 5 metre countless times and been over our try line countless times without scoring. So it is that frustrating mix of they're doing really well defendingly, but it's just there's barely any attack. Looks like a replacement with the blue hair in front of you on the camera.
Yeah, you're making full use of the replacements, is Matt, today, making sure that everyone gets a run out. As we said, at this college level of games, we have lots of new players joining us, so lots of good squad depth and the ability to chop and change that team very quickly. But yes, it must be quite frustrating to watch your forwards doing so well, and then as a forward, where you've, as you said, you started as a forward. Are you at the point now where if you're not making those line breaks, you're looking at your back saying, come on, do us a favour here?
Yeah, you're looking at your backs and you're looking at your centres predominantly and your fullback, because they're the ones who've got the most strength. They're the ones who've got the most physicality and speed. You're looking at them almost like a flanker and going, come on, you've got to play that role. You've got the ball back again. But you are looking at those sort of players and going, can you just be like a second back row or something?
Oh, making some good headway down this left wing. We had some good offload there by Ruby Sims, who scored our final try of the first half. Big tackle there by one of the Henley forwards. Again, apologies, we do not have the team sheet for Henley College or any of the replacements. But as I said, we will still be bringing you all the action. So SGS finally managed to make their way into the Henley 22 and get close to the try line. Lots of replacements on the pitch, but still some from our first half, including scrum half Harriet Blackman, who will look to challenge this at this scrum. But again, Henley 12 looking to put the ball into the scrum and potentially offload to the number 9. That's something that Harry and I have been speaking about today. A little change in tactic there. But the referee unhappy with something here and just going to have a chat with.
Is it the wingers or the sideline?
Yeah. Unfortunately, don't quite manage to get the camera round as much at the moment. So referee's on his way back though, as we look to carry on the game. But yeah, tough start for Henley College at the moment. No score yet in this second half, but SGS close to the try line. But Harry, what do you make of the first 5-10 minutes we've had so far?
It's looked almost dominant from Henley, but also at the same time not clinical enough. It's like they've been in front of those posts, in front of the try line so many times without scoring, and it's like, if we were on TNT, I'd want to see a stat right now about how many times they've been in the 5 metre line. But it's they need to just finish a bit more. They need to have that awareness to not go into that 5 metre channel either side of the ruck and maybe spread it out wide, because there's going to be room, because all the forwards and all the players are going to be bunched in.
Well, the hope is that, give it 5 years after studying this course, you'll be at TNT and you'll be able to give me a few tips of how to commentate and run a live stream like this.
Fingers crossed.
So just to recap you on the day that we've got ahead for you. So at the minute, we are just over halfway through our women's ace game, 31-0 versus the Henley College. We are then going to be taking a short break before then bringing you live coverage of SGS men's ace versus Peter Symonds College, and that's going to round off our double header for today. SGS unfortunately not having a lot of luck in their lineups in this second half, losing the ball again, but the play will then be reset here.
Knock on from SGS, then a knock on from Henley, then it looked like he said it was a knock on from SGS again, but I didn't see that here. But it's gone down for a Henley scrum. Is it the 12? It is the 12 this time.
Yeah, that looks like they're going to be sticking with that then, and trying to make use of the 9 and 10 when that ball comes out. And when they do get going, they have some good ball speed. They do manage to keep the ball, move it down the line, but it's just trying to keep the ball away from the SGS line, because they're so quick out to them that they really don't have much time on the ball. But it looks like we're trying to see through the players here. Henley still coming away with the ball, but not finding much room to move around and try and make some headway up the pitch. SGS holding firm. They're holding firm on their own try line, and now they're holding firm at the other end and not letting Henley get anywhere. The ball spilled there by Henley, and that looks like it's going to be an SGS scrum. So pressure's not letting up at all, is it, Harry? It's good to see this at the other side of the pitch.
Yeah, it's good to see that we're finally getting up their end. It's good to see that we're finally pushing on. It's taken a bit for, I don't know if it's the subs just easing into the game or if it's anything that we've just a bit tired after that first half coming out so strong. But I think we've settled in a bit more now, and we've needed 5-10 minutes just to settle in. Now we're full speed again. As you can see, those flags in the background blowing.
I know, yeah. That's tough conditions, isn't it?
Kicking conversions, you're going to have to aim 5 meters outside the post just to get it in the middle.
I'm going to give a special shout out right now to our cam ops who are out there in the wind and the rain, and to the staff that are helping out with them. So well done to all of our guys that are out there freezing their hands off. They are doing fantastic work. SGS getting very close to the line. Looks like there might be a gap if that was moved on ever so slightly, but not quite there yet. SGS still trying to keep hold of that ball and give themselves an opportunity to add a 6th try to the 5 that they managed to score. And that has gone over. Lovely stuff. So that is another try for SGS. Didn't quite manage to see who got that one over. I think potentially one of the replacements placements, but let's have a look in just a second. So that is a wonderful to start that for the second half. That puts us at 36-0 to SGS College, and we'll see if poor Theo Reid can kick in this wind. She's had some good luck so far with the conversions, kicking just over 50%. So we'll see if she can have any luck with this one. However, that is again a good start. Not quite as quick a start as the second half as the first was for SGS. However, some solid defensive play has now rewarded them with another try. But that's exactly what the coaches would have wanted, isn't it, Harry?
Yeah, I think I figured out also one of the substitutes. The person in the orange boot, I think, is the number 20, SGS Sports Media Zone, Lily O'Callaghan.
I think it is indeed. Yes, we've got a bit of representation for sports media. So we've got Lily O'Callaghan that's come on at number 20. Good spot there. Who I think actually plays at inside centre. We also had Martha Haynes playing in the first half, who I think has now been replaced. Both of those girls are sports media students.
Both moving to Dings recently togetger from Kingswood.
Indeed, yes. Good spot. Good local knowledge. There you go. I knew there was a reason you sat next to me.
I play for Kingswood, so I get all the gossip.
But yes, great to see some sports media representation out there. If you haven't already guessed, I teach sports media here at the college, and Harry alongside me is one of the new first year students for this year. And this whole production is brought to you by sports media students, from the setup crew in the morning here early doors to the students bringing this first game, and the whole second crew bringing the second game that we've got coming up for you this afternoon. All sports media students, and if you're interested in doing something like this as a career, get in touch. Have a look on our website. Applications will open soon for next year. We still have a couple of spaces available for this year. If you're at a loose end, we're really looking for that next step for you. So get in touch. You can get in touch on our website, and we'd love to hear from you. And we've also got some open days coming up in October and November for studying here. If it's rugby that you're interested in, fear not. We've got recruitment events coming up, so you can follow our SGS Rugby and SGS Sports Academy's Instagram pages for all the details if this is what you're going to be interested in doing in your future. But we'd love to hear from you, and we'd love to see you with us next September.
That's gone straight out. So they had a penalty from our player holding on in the ruck, and they've gone to kick for touch, and it looks like it's just gone straight out. So I think we've got a 22 kick, or
good spot,
kick
Harry.
20.
Again, I was spending too much time plugging. I needed to rely on you to let us know what's going on. But yeah, good spot. So
I'll watch the game. You get the applicants.
Yeah. So SGS here running the show at the moment. Henley struggling to find any room, but we are going to hope that SGS manages to put points on the board, get a fantastic start to the season as the ball is moved along to Elizabeth Bolton, our number 8 for the day.
Knock on an advantage, it looks like.
Indeed, Henley players look like they're calling for something. They are, and the referee has given that in the end.
Taking it quickly.
Oh, indeed. There goes our prop Lily Tarrant, trying to carry the ball as much as she can. Brought down by Henley College, but the referee again...
offside, not back 5.
Offside, good spot. Has dropped the tap and go, and unfortunately finally managed to find some comedy in that. Not quite what Lily Tarrant was after.
That is an embarrassing moment.
Yeah, nice to see that she's able to laugh that off though. Unfortunately, a knock on in that what was hoping to be a tap and go. So that will be a Henley scrum. That ever happened to you, Harry?
Yes, I've also. Many things have happened from a tap and go, to be honest. We've had where I've dropped it off a tap and go, and I've looked to my captain that I may have disobeyed or may have not disobeyed because he wanted to go to the corner, and he may have been looking at me with a smile but also very disappointed, and it was a moment where I may have regretted, but it's all fun and games at the end of the day, and it's good to have a little laugh about your mistakes. And if you have a hunch and you see a gap, try go for it. But if it don't work, then Just smile it off.
It's
innit?
always next time.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
exactly.
We've got to remember, this isn't the Premiership, or Prem Rugby as we should call it now. This isn't
Yeah.
Prem Rugby. So,
Why have they renamed it to that?
yeah, interesting move.
Yeah.
But there we go. So as we take a little pause in play here, just to go through some of the details from today. If you've been watching the whole game, you're going to be bored of hearing me saying this by now. But I am going to carry on saying for some of our newer viewers who might be dipping in and out of the stream. So we are bringing you a double header this week on a Wednesday, the 10th of September. We are about 3/4 of the way through our first live stream of the day, SGS Women's Ace versus Henley College, who are up 36-0. We're going to take a short break after this game, and then we're going to be moving on to our second game, live coverage at 3 o'clock coming up at the Wise campus. SGS men's team, men's Ace team versus Peter Symonds College, where we'll have a new commentary team for you. Me and Harry will be departing. You'll see Harry presenting that show, and we're lucky enough to have the women's coach Matt Belbin to come in to commentate on the second game that we've got here for you this afternoon. So lots of coverage still to come. We'd love for you to stay tuned and to watch our second game as well. But first of all, we're going to come back to our coverage here. Some wonderful scrummaging from SGS. But Harriet Blackman stopped straight away. They were right on top of her out of that scrum. But SGS managing to keep hold of the ball at the moment, moving that down the line. Unsure of options there, but it looked like that might have been... Oh, no. Play still going on as Isla Boylan looks to make hay and get on the line, but not managing to keep hold of it just yet. But it looks like
knock-on advantage from the scrum anyway, so
great.
Scrum again in the same place.
Scrum again in the same place. Lovely.
Go again.
Yeah, nice time to reset though, isn't it? I suppose for SGS's team, you're 36-0 up. There's not much that you need to do in terms of trying to go for more points. Absolutely fun to do so, but really, is it important in this first game of the season? Make a statement, put points on the board, and try and keep Henley from going over the line.
Yeah, I feel like they don't need to in the sake of the game, but looking at everyone else, then going into the next and upcoming games, then look at a team and going, this team, if we do get up to a big mark like a 60 mark or something, they're looking at it going, they've put a 60 against Henley, who are quite a physical team and have been quite good in previous years. So it is a statement game that if we do go on and push on and show that we can play in that second half as well as we did in that first half, then I believe that we can go on and make a statement against other teams. But this second half, it's one that teams will be making a note of because it's looking a bit lackluster. It's looking a bit meh.
Absolutely. So as we wait for this scrum, we're going to let you carry on watching the game. I'm just going to, we're lucky enough to be joined, obviously, Harry to my right here is a first-year student. Lucky to be joined by Jude Noble, who's a second-year student here at the college, and has already had a year of me teaching him. Unlucky. So, Jude, I would love for you to tell us a little bit about your time at the college so far and what keeps you coming back even on dreary days like this.
Regardless of what Max says, the opportunities have been an absolute pleasure. Got a distinction in the first year, was very proud of that, but I'm just looking to go into the second year, get some more opportunities, keep working hard and see where it gets me in the future.
Good stuff. Thanks, Jude. As we said,
wind outside in that moment, howling.
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah. It's tough conditions out there, but good to hear from Jude there about what you can expect if you move on to the second year of the course here. Lots of opportunity for you. As you said, if you're interested, you can have a look on our website. But SGS making some good ground here. So real good battles here. Henley not giving up, to be fair to them. Really physical team and making sure that they don't go home too disappointed. They're trying their absolute best to stop SGS scoring. They've already had a lot of luck this second half in holding off as much as they did in the first half. Just the one try as opposed to the 5 that we had in the first half. Defensively, Harry, do you think Henley have been a lot better this half?
I feel they're pretty much the same. I think SGS have just almost toned it down a couple of gears. They've put the brakes on a little bit. Knock on again from SGS. It's a bit of a disappointing half from an SGS point of view, looking at how well we did in that first half. I don't know what is to blame, whether it's the pickup in rain or whether it's how windy it suddenly got and change at half time, or if it's the subs haven't just eased in yet. We got that try, and then after that try we've looked a bit like it's a bit of a stalemate at the moment, and I think for other teams looking at this game, it's looking at them going, SGS can perform really well in the first half, but then can't keep it for the second. Or they're looking at it going, Henley are fighters, and they like to stay in the game, and they will stay in the game, whether they're staying in it with points or they're staying in it with their physicality. Because at the moment, Henley are doing a great job of fighting back and are unlucky to not have 3 scores already in this half. Like, been held up 3 times, and it's looked like a unlucky game for Henley in this half.
Absolutely, yeah, spot on. Harry. Really good point on what you can learn from this game if you're watching it as another opposition in the league. Lots of good teams in this league, so lots that you can learn from both sides. But yeah, as we said, Henley not giving up, SGS moving the ball down the line, doing really well to keep hold of the ball at a minute. Movement speed very good. There's Lily O'Callaghan moving the ball very nicely. Again, another, as we said earlier, another sports media student. We've got 2 out there representing our course today. But some fantastic work from our number 8, Elizabeth Bolton, refused to be brought down for a long time there, and managing to then go down, and Lily Tarrant then makes her way with the ball, making some good breaks through the line here. Henley, again, we've praised their defensive work a lot today, but it looks like potentially they are just tiring now, but you can't do anything but praise their effort in this second half.
They've just stuck in it, and they've just kept their heads up and almost gone into half-time and come into the second half like it's a whole new game of rugby, looking at it like look, girls, it's 0-0 now. Now go out and fight like it's 0-0. Go out and fight like it's now only... Did we get that conversion?
Do you know... I don't know.
Whether it's 5 or 7-0 now in this half, they're looking at and then going, we can get this back and win this half of rugby.
Yeah, from this half we didn't. No, just wide. I think it was a tough one in the wind, that one. So SGS just having a player down and requiring some treatment. So we'll take a short break in play here. But again, I'm just going to give a big shout out to everyone, especially those, we're very fortunate in here. We're sat inside a cosy little room, me and Harry and the Vision Mixers and our audio team. Whereas our cam ops are outside, braving the rain, braving the wind, coming back from half time with blue hands. So very good job to them. And I think next time there's potential that they're going to be picking a different job as we head into the winter months. But a very good job from all who are out there, and our photographers as well. So, a brilliant job
for the end of the year where it's more warmer.
Absolutely, yeah. You want to be out there in the sunshine.
And then I'll pick one of the camera rolls.
Yeah, we've been very lucky actually that it hasn't thunder and lightning today. We were due to have that all yesterday. We were biting our nails. We were so nervous that we were going to have to cancel this, but we've been lucky enough so far. As you say, touch wood, fingers crossed, that doesn't pick up in the afternoon. So yeah, we're hoping that if it stays with rain, we can deal with rain. Rain's easy. Rain and wind, we can manage that. Thunder and lightning, that gets a little bit more difficult as we have another knock
looking
on.
Like the players can't deal with the rain.
Yeah, there's been a lot of knock-ons in this half. But ball kick forward, advantage to Henley. Not quite managed to get that one. But again, almost spinning the ball again. It looks like the referee's now going to bring that back for the advantage. But he's given a penalty. They're going to tap and go there.
Don't know what that penalty was for.
Was it one too many? But I mean, you wouldn't really.
Oh, that's a try
really
anyway.
Oh God! Wow. Okay, that came out of nowhere. Henley managing to get the ball over the line. They played that very quickly. To be fair to them, nice quick tap and go, and the referee managing to keep the play moving very quickly. And the Henley College have managed to get points over the board, so that will be 36-5 for Henley. So 36 points to SGS, 5 to Henley. We'll see if they can put this one over the post as well. The fly half for SGS. See if they can battle this wind and put the conversion over the posts, and we'll let you know if that happens. But at the minute, 5 points on the board for Henley. But Harry, that felt like it was coming earlier in the half, and then that one kind of came out of nowhere.
They were dominant, and then suddenly it all went a bit stale after our try, and then out of nowhere they've got that tap and go from a confusing decision from the ref, but the ref decision is final, and that's They're
That
good
has
kick.
gone over, yeah, excellent. So we're just going to get these cameras wiped off for you so that you can actually see what's happening. But yes, converted, as you said there, so 36-7 to SGS College. Henley managing to get off the line. And they probably deserved that this half. Like we said, held up 3 times in the first 5 minutes. Have played defensively well. Only 1 try for SGS this half, and SGS need to now refocus and have a think about how they can keep Henley from getting over that line anymore. Probably not too much longer left to go in this game. You're probably looking at another 5-10 minutes or so of this second half. I'm sure all the players out there are keen to get this game over and done with, as are our poor cam ops out there stood in the rain. Hopefully under umbrellas. We've managed to keep them dry, I think, but it is still cold out there. But I can imagine if you're a men's player here for our second game at 3 o'clock, you're looking at this thinking, blimey, hope this lets up.
Yeah, it's not looking fun. Bit of a confusing decision from Henley. They've decided to go from the kick again, which is going to be a hard one, considering they didn't make it 5 the first time, SGS, but kick again is going to be a hard one because in this wet weather, you don't want to be catching on that high ball, and as you see already, SGS won it back. I mean, bit
Looks like it's
sloppy,
gonna be a forward pass, yeah.
and it is a forward pass, but it is an odd decision to go for that kick again because realistic, you want to be going. We've got that ball, we've got the scrum, we've got maybe the decision to go and push them back a little bit. In this wet weather, the ground's going to be softer, so it's going to be harder to push and get that traction on the ground. So that was a bit of an odd decision. We've kept the ball in play though.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's as you say, Harry, it's a bit of a strange one, but SGS unfortunately are not managing to capitalise. Henley are not managing to capitalise on SGS's mistakes. There's been a lot of knock-ons, a lot of forward passes. It's been tough conditions, as we say, but still SGS managed to keep hold of the ball this time. That's one of our replacements moving through, offloaded really nicely to Isla Boylan, who is managing to stay up and has done fantastic well to offload to Lily O'Callaghan there, who has also managed to offload to Elizabeth Bolton, moving the ball really well, just managing to get as close to the line as possible. Ball still out and in play, and there goes Lily Tarrant, who's managing to get as close as she can. Sorry, apologies for the camera angle. We're just trying to sort a bit of an issue with one of our cameras, but we have by the looks of it, unfortunately, SGS have given away a penalty there, so Henley are looks like they're going to kick for touch, but getting close. Ball movement very good from SGS, and somehow, like we said, managing to fight their way through that Henley line. But we want to see more of that from SGS, don't we, Harry?
Yeah, it's like got to get up in their half because we haven't been that much in this. It's been a pretty halfway line sort of half so far. We've been on the halfway line with a lot of scrums. We're there and thereabouts really, and it's not looking to. It's a bit meh from us. So getting up in their half is what we need to do. Get in their 22. Put on the pressure as we need to get into their try line and get past that try line, get the points on the board, because at the moment it is looking like it's a first half game for SGS.
Absolutely. Again, we see evidence there again of the tricky conditions. That ball must be very slippery, hard to keep onto, and Henley dropping that from the line out. But the referee looking like he's allowed them to keep hold of the play. Not quite sure what happened there, but moving the ball very quickly, trying to make as much ground as possible. Neither team giving up here. SGS doing very well to keep hold of that. It's Lily O'Callaghan again, who's had a fantastic second half here. Lots of play with the ball in hand, and lots of fantastic offloads as well. She's staking a claim for a first team spot, isn't she?
I'm not really that sure, to be honest. She's played really well. Took a bit of time to warm up to the game. Took a bit of time to almost grow a confidence into the game, because this is his first game of the season. Remember, this is almost a show game to show the rest of the league this is who we are. So it took a bit of time for her to get into the game, but now she's in the game. She's really showing her prowess and her strength and her handling ability, even in this wet weather. And here she is again.
Absolutely,
good step. Yeah. She powers on through.
Yeah, done very well there, and made life easy for Harriet Blackman to offload again. And here comes Isla Boylan again, doing very well, offloading to Ruby Sims, who has done very well to find breaks in the line for the whole game today. Obviously managed to get that second to last try, I think, before half time on the scoreboard. SGS coming back from that Henley try and really looking dangerous, managing to move the ball. Here's Lily O'Callaghan again, refusing to go down, not letting those big tackles get her down, offloading nicely, and Harriet Blackman just dictating the play again. There's Lily Tarrant keeping hold of the ball. But play moving ever so slightly forward. SGS getting slightly closer to that try line. He's one of our replacements. Offload. Oh, very nicely done to Lily Young here, our prop. And SGS managing to keep hold of the ball. And actually, this looks like very safe hands at the moment. Ruby Sims again there, off over to Fionn Reid at number 14.
You can see the wind is still carrying and is being picked up. And were there flags on those posts earlier? Have they been blown off?
Quite potentially, yeah. For if you can't see, the wind is very bad out here today. Great pass and offload. SGS ever so close. Has that gone over? And it has indeed. Yeah, a very nice passage of play from SGS College. Again, struggles in the first and second half of keeping hold of the ball. Lots of knock-ons from SGS. But then it didn't seem like it was an issue at all. Managing to offload the ball very nicely. Quick ball speed. Managing to deal with those big tackles. And that is exactly what we would have wanted again. So another try for SGS. That takes us to 41-7 in this game. And that's nice to see. A nice response to that Henley try, right, Harry?
Yeah, it's just showing that we are still in contention for the points and how easy we can make it for the points, and it is going really well for us today. I think this second half has been a bit of a meh half, but we are playing well. We are playing some good rugby. Just Henley's come out and showed us who they can be and who they are, and it is a great half from Henley. Just unfortunate with some of their distribution of players have been they're a bit of honeypotting, and if you don't know what that means at home, it's when you're too close to the ruck and you're too close and you're following the ball all the time. They look like they are sticking closer to the ruck with their forwards, and then their backs aren't fanning out a lot. So it looks like that's what we are doing well. We're creating the space, creating those overlaps out on the wings, and it's making us seem really deadly, and it's tough kicking decision. Tough kicking.
Yeah, that is conversion not put through, but that is the full-time whistle, we believe. So wonderful scenes of celebration here at SGS.
Or they're just happy not to get the conversion.
Well, yeah. But I think amongst all the wind, I think we've just about managed to hear a referee's whistle at the end of this game, which leaves us at 41-7 to SGS. A wonderful start to Matt Belbin's season. Like we said, over a decade here, and that success showing no signs of stopping. The players doing a fantastic job.
You can see how much it means to all of them. They're all running on and cheering and celebrating, but those Henley girls don't look that disheartened by it either, because that half was a great half from them.
Absolutely, yeah. Long season ahead yet. You know, this is the first game of the season. SGS doing a very good job, playing very well. Great first half, managing to respond to the second half try. And yes, it's going to be a very good afternoon for these SGS women's players. You can go away happy. Harry, standout players for you?
I felt like the scrums have been pretty good, but they're putting into the scrum from the 9 from Harriet Blackett has been brilliant, and I feel like she's been playing really well today. She's played epic, and I think that whole starting team and the bench has come on, and they've just shown Henley who's boss, and shown the league who's great, like how good they are and how good these young players coming up through for the first year of SGS rugby has been. It's been brilliant from them, and it's hard to pick out a standout team. That front row holding that scrum, we had more scrums I think than they did in that first half, and we held them off really well. And I just feel like that pack is shown their strength, their speed, their willingness to get over that gain line, and I feel like the pack has done well today.
Absolutely, yeah. I'm going to give a shout out to Imogen Phillips in that first half as well. A couple of great tries to get us started. But so as we bring our coverage of the first game to a close, I just want to say a big thank you to everyone involved in the first game coverage. You've got Harry to the right of me, Kira on vision mixing, Alfie on sound, and lots of people out cam-opping in the field, taking pictures, being part of the wonderful crew that we've got here. We've got a whole new crew for the second game. We're going to be live just before 3 p.m. for SGS Men's versus Peter Symonds College. And in the meantime, we're going to take a short break. We'll be back with you in about 20 minutes time. So don't go anywhere, and we'll see you at 3 p.m. for that game. Good afternoon and welcome to our second games coverage of SGS Men's versus Peter Symonds College. Before we join us over in commentary, we are going to hand over to our presenters, Harry and James.
Thank you, Max. Hello, thanks for joining us. Obviously.
Yeah, we had the women's game earlier today. You may have heard me on commentary. I'm now behind the camera or in front of the camera doing a bit of presenting.
And I mean, obviously, you didn't hear my voice, but now you can hear my voice and you can see my face.
Exactly, it's brilliant. We're all here and we're loving it. So, line up today for the men's. The front row consists of Corbett and Lee at props, and then today's hooker is Morse. At second row, we've got Willoughby Smith, who is your captain for today, and Carter. We then at flanker got Morris and Hill, and at 8 we've got Larson. At your scrum half we've got Russell. Fly half we've got Sims. Both wings today we've got Haiti and we've got Cassidy. And then centres are Lamb and Parson, and 15 is Sharif. I think that's how you pronounce the name. Sheriff or Sharif.
Sheriff.
Oh, it's one of them. But today, we had the women's game first of all, which was a very good start for the women's ace team. It was a great game for the first half. First half was good, and then the second half was a bit lackluster.
Rather than the second half.
Oh, the opposition came out with more force. They came out with a revitalized energy and a bit more oomph to their game that they didn't have in that first half, and it was just a bit boring to watch. If that was a full game of rugby, I think I would switch off within 5 minutes. But we got 3 tries in the end, and it was a good first half. All right, so early this week, I caught up with the co-captain of the SGS men's team, and you can see this now. So hi, I'm Harry Ryan. Can you introduce yourself?
I'm Ben Willoughby Smith, the co-captain for the men's Ace Rugby at SGS.
And how long have you playing for the SGS team?
This is my first year. I've only done pre-season.
Pre-seasons look tough. How have you felt like the team's adapted to this setup?
It has been tough. Coxie's been pushing us, but it's worked out really well. We've all been playing well together. Everything's coming together, and we're looking forward to the game on Wednesday.
Yeah. So obviously you're playing against Peter Symonds on Wednesday. How do you feel like they're going to fight against you? How do you feel like you're going to fight back against them?
Well, I think because it's the Ace League, we'll go into every game thinking that every team's going to be tough. We're not sure what they're like fully because they're a new Ace team. They're new to the league, so it's a new setup, but we're looking forward to it. I reckon we'll do really well. Newcomers
coming into the team. Is this a team, a lot of newcomers coming in, and is there a lot of competition for places?
Yeah, obviously everyone's competing for spots. Everyone's pushing each other so they can be the best they can be. I've just had a training session then, and everyone was pushing, everyone was doing well, so there is definitely a lot of competition.
Everyone gelled in well, everyone settled in with each other?
Yeah, everyone's talking to each other. We've got a nice group now. Everyone's getting on well with each other. Everyone's laughing, but when it comes to the games, we're serious and we take it on and we play well together.
Yeah. So is there much diversity within like club level? Is there many clubs that play for the SGS A team, or is it pretty much like everyone plays for one club and it's?
It is very diverse. We got loads of boys from Wales as well that have come in, all from different clubs. Loads of boys from Bristol, around the area. Boys from Winscombe. So like myself from Dings, you got a few people from North as well. So it's definitely very diverse.
Captain in first year. How's captaining been with the boys? How's it been training with them?
Loved every minute of it. Everyone's really supportive. Everyone gets on well with me, and everyone's helping out as well.
Goals for the season. What are you looking to produce? What are, the standings going to be looking like?
Well, our aim is to win. Our aim is to win as many games as we can and finish as highly as we can in the league. Obviously, that's the idea you've got to go into every league. So we're looking forward to it.
Yeah. So senior team, quite a lot of older lot in there. You're obviously first year. How have the older lot looked to take you under their wing?
They've been very supportive. Like the other captain, Will, he's been a centrepiece of the team. He's been helping everyone out, helping the first years to join in. And you've got loads of the boys, especially I'm a forward, so when we're doing our units at the end, everyone's helping each other learn, so taking their experience from the first year at college and bringing it back to us.
So first game coming up is a bit of a settler. Is this a bit of a settler?
Well, we had a game against Beach and Cliff on Wednesday, and that was really good fun. We've also had our residential, so we feel ready. It's not really a prep game. Kind of just got we've had a lot of training, a lot of experience in games at the minute as well. So we had Glanta a few weeks ago as well. So we're looking forward to this one, and we feel ready.
Cool. Thank you very much.
No problem.
So that was us. That was me, not us. You interviewed the women's captain, didn't you? Well, not captain. She wasn't the captain. She was just a star player. You made that mistake as well on the day. So we're gonna go. That was me catching up, and now we're gonna go over to our commentary team. Hello, Leo.
Hello. Welcome to the league opener of the ACA Tier 2 Southpool 25-26. I'm your commentator alongside
Matt Belbin, head coach of the Female Rugby Academy.
ready for this exciting matchup ahead of us. The opponents today travelling from Winchester, just north of Southampton, about an hour and a half drive from the south coast for this battle today. SGS Men's Rugby had an exhilarating campaign to remember last season, most successful in 9 years, winning 7 out of 11 games. One of the players stand out, Callum Bolden, pulling up a call up to the Bristol Bears under-18s.
Yeah, it was a fantastic achievement for the boys' ace team. Going into a new season, new squad of players coming in, it'd be great to get off the mark with a home win and do the double, I suppose, for the academy today.
We are almost ready to kick off and get underway, approaching the 3 p.m. expected kick-off time. Any thoughts ahead of this game?
I think it'll be interesting to not only see how the SGS side go, but also Pete Symonds, who are new into the Ace League. With that as well, a bit unusual for September in the first game of the season, but the conditions, very windy, very wet. It's probably a lot windier out there than what maybe it looks on the camera as well. So it'd be interesting to see in these early stages how the game plans unfold, especially with Peter Symonds probably going with the wind, and they've got the slope into the far right corner there. So it looks like Peter Symonds will be kicking off anyway. So hopefully, if they can receive the kick-off here, it'll be some early possession for SGS, which they'll love to have. Ball in hand straight away. Nothing like that, first game of the season, being able to get your hands on the ball and get a feel for the game straight away. So very good matchup ahead. Really look forward to this game today.
Will be an exciting one to watch.
Just waiting for the referee by the looks of things to get the game underway.
The pitch looks good conditions ahead of the opening season. The weather, like Matt said, not great, but almost slipped over 3 times on the way here today. But ready, the players are ready for this.
No, it's interesting you mentioned the pitch, and as we know, we do have the Red Roses, the England women's rugby team here training as well. So that's a real credit to our facilities and operations team here at SGS. What a fantastic job they've done to get the pitches up to a world-class standard.
And we are underway at SGS's home ground. Symonds is the one to kick off, kicking long, and immediately won by the SGS rugby team.
Yeah, Rory Larson with the first carry there. A deep kick from Peter Symonds. You can probably see the strength of the win there as well. Really taking the ball into the corner, but it looks like Russell's cleared quite nicely. Sorry, I thought there was a penalty there, but it was. Offside from SGS early doors. So not the most ideal start, but maybe a few nerves a little bit twitchy there, trying to get off the mark a bit quicker than they should have. Symonds opting to kick to corner here, I believe. Bit of confusion. Are they tapping and going, or are they kicking to corner? Yeah, corner. So this will be a great first test for the SGS forwards. Straight into their maul defence here, assuming it does stay within. I can't imagine the ball coming out of this more in the early stages here, especially with the conditions. And also a test for the hooker of Peter Symonds. Wet ball, windy conditions. Let's see if he can hit his straps right from the start. Which he can. Fantastic maul defence though from SGS. Yeah, it's a good start of play for SGS defensively there, really pushing the Peter Symonds boys back in the early stages. However, Symonds do maintain possession, which is so key. It's whether now SGS can keep piling these defensive sets together. And unfortunately, they haven't. And Symonds have found a way through in the corner early stages.
Yeah, an early try for Symonds College, getting past the SGS defence quite easy there. It looked like they looked very strong at the start, SGS, but now Symonds have an early advantage.
I think also though at this stage, it's disappointing to concede, but to be locked in that corner for a period of time could be quite energy sapping. So although it's not the ideal start for SGS, it's very early in the game. They're going to have an opportunity now to kick the ball from the kickoff back into the Peter Symonds half. So can we apply the pressure straight back on after this conversion?
Can Symonds College convert the conversion? The extra 2 points will be needed.
I don't think he made the kick there. We lost shot of the referee then, but I believe that's 5-0 to Peter Symonds after the first minute. So early pressure conceded from SGS. Not the end of the world, as we said. It's early stages in the game. They'll just be eager to get into the Peter Symonds half and hopefully stay in there and build some of their own pressure and attack now, which they seem to have done from the kickoff with a knock-on from Peter Symonds. So early scrum play here for SGS, which is definitely an area they're very strong in.
Yeah, disappointing kick there. Would have expected it to fly in. Symonds making the long journey from Winchester. Obviously will be well up for this. As you said before, their first season in the ACE Men's Rugby League.
Which is fantastic for them. It's fantastic for the ACE League as well. As you probably noticed, that Peter Symonds are wearing a Bath Rugby strip. So just showing off their connections there with Bath Rugby, who we know are a very strong side, especially in the Premiership. Also the Premiership champions. So that shows the strength that's filtering through into their academy and ACE College's setups.
Bath also winning the treble last year, I thought.
Obviously a bit of a rivalry here as well with SGS being a Bristol Bears ACE College. So yeah, not just from the colleges, and that's not an ideal situation, conceding a scrum penalty there. I'm not quite sure. Dropping the knee there at the scrum. So a relief here, or a bit of release for Peter Symonds from within their own half.
Standout player Ned Hill making another appearance this week. Last week, 10 attacking breakdown impacts. A player to watch out for during these early stages of the match.
Symonds missing touch there, and SGS immediately moving the ball over to Bruno Lamb, who's put a kick down into the Peter Symonds half, and it looks like a really good kick chase there from SGS, applying pressure to the early breakdowns of Peter Symonds. Can we weather this storm again? Can we look to have a good defensive set? Very physical tackle there from Willoughby Smith, the captain.
Some very tough players out there. Some amazing tackles to keep the ball in the same area of the pitch.
Opportunity for the turnover. Not quite. Didn't seem to get a clear lift of the ball. I think that was Caden Corbett. And now he's just gone back. Just a silly penalty being compounded there. Just attacking the breakdown after it was lost. Symonds another opportunity to relieve the pressure here. Can they find touch this time?
Kicking long. Where will it end up? Out of play.
Yeah, you can see in the early stages here, SGS very eager to get off the line, which is great. They want to show that physicality. I think it's now just more around their discipline to just hold that extra second before the ball's being lifted by the scrum half, which allows them to get off the line and make those tackles. I think they look quite comfortable in defence, but they're kind of giving relief and piggybacks here to Symonds by being penalised. However, good bit of line-out defence here, and the turnover complete by SGS.
Scramble on the 10-metre line. SGS in possession now. Brought down once again. Some amazing tackles, like I said before.
Yeah, signs with the early ball to Ned Hill there. But it looks like we're coming back for scrum, so it must have been a knock-on in the line-out. Yeah, it's been a long, big pre-season for SGS, starting all the way back in the first week of July. Obviously, during that time as well, a lot of these boys are part of the Bristol Bears under-18s academy, so they would have had a pre-season with them. So it's only been the last couple of weeks that the two, all the players have actually come together and they've been able to spend some good time preparing for these matches. But it's been a good pre-season. You can tell, looking very fit, very lean. That's a shout out to our S&C team here. Max Cooper, who runs the sessions for them. So with himself and the medical team that have at SGS, they've done a fantastic job in making sure that all these lads are fit and ready to go for the start of the season.
The ball is kept near the try line. SGS need some points back after the early disadvantage from the try from Peter Symonds.
SGS with a turnover penalty there, and it looks like Evan Russell is looking to take the quick penalty there, but the referee has brought it back. So anyway, opportunity, fantastic position for SGS, holding on the floor from Peter Symonds. Looks like we're going to go for a tap and go play. Corbett leading from the front as he drives. Have Symonds got underneath it? He's left it short, and that was short again. I'm not sure if he knocked it on. No, referee's given a try. So first score to SGS of the season goes to, I'm not sure who this is at the moment. I can't see the number on the back, but it is a try to SGS nonetheless. 5-5.
Now can they convert the conversion, take the lead in the match?
It's exactly what SGS would have wanted after conceding that early try, was to bounce back with an early score like this, have some possession in the Peter Symonds half. The question is now, can we deal with a kickoff after this conversion? Can we then go and back this try up with another? As we see Bruno Lamb here lining up for the conversion.
A short wait. Bruno Lamb, a short step up, kicking long, and through the post, I think.
Again, the camera shot didn't quite reveal that. I didn't see any flags go up. Someone will have to confirm for us, but I believe at minimum it's definitely going to be 5-5, so we'll go with that for now.
Well, back where we started, about 5 minutes in now, and SGS have found their equaliser. Back underway.
Symonds has gone deep again. It's been nearly caught by Rory Larson, but it wasn't fully caught there, so it seems that Cassidy is the man who is cleared up. Carry here from Willoughby Smith. Looks like Russell looked to clear his lines here. Into the wind. Clearance is made, and it's found touch. Looks to be quite a good kick, actually, reaching the 22-metre line, which is tough, especially for a scrum half. Not much of an angle to work with going into the wind, so although it seems to have brightened up outside now, so hopefully dropping off of the rain and the wind.
Last game for SGS was resulted in a Last game for SGS resulted in a.
Yeah, it was last week's game versus Beach and Cliff in the pre-season. So, yeah, it was a 2-point loss to them, but they performed really, really well. Yeah, it was a good opportunity for them. Beach and Cliff are a very strong side.
Yeah, it was 12-12 at halftime. Close game altogether. As Thunder delayed the kickoff before, there was a threat of it today, but not sure it happened earlier on.
Scrum in. Looks like from the Symonds side there, just fell in. So referee looking for a reset. The one kind of lost his foot in there, but referee probably done the right thing here to reset. Yeah, part of the SGS pre-season was some away days as well. So we spent a lot of time at Merthyr Mawr and the sand dunes. The guys have spent some time away on a residential in North Wales, which was a smashing experience. And yeah, a really good opportunity for these guys to go out, spend some time together. Fantastic kick from Russell there. Can SGS get on the end of this? Looks like it's lost forward there from Peter Symonds. Referee seems to have allowed play to go on for now, though. So let's see if we can get a turnover on the Peter Symonds line.
SGS win it back. It's a scramble on the floor. It's now.
Let's pull out the back. Symes out wide. Oh no, it's been intercepted from Peter Symonds. So probably a little bit eager to try and make the final pass there, the scoring pass. Peter Symonds regained possession, and the referee, in fact, it was knocked on by SGS, so a little bit of argy-bargy. But Peter Symonds scrums from the end of that.
Stoppage in play once again.
Yeah, I think I mentioned it before as well. It's really important to talk about the partnership that we have with Bristol Bears. Had a number of players coming through the college over the years. The most notable one being Joe Joyce, who's one of the captains for Bristol Bears when they won the European Championship. So yeah, we've had some fantastic players. Jack Bates, who's currently within there, he's kind of the poster boy at the moment with Bristol Bears and SGS. And hopefully, you know, you're looking at some of the future stars of the Premiership and international scene in the future as well.
As I said before, SGS last season winning 7 out of 11. It was the most successful season in 9 years, only losing 4 times as well. Symonds win the scrum.
Yeah, I think with the new tier system as well, this would be SGS would be one of the favourites to go and win the tier 2 competition. To get off the mark with a big win against Peter Symonds today is exactly what the coaches and the players will want. And yeah, I think there's some strong teams, as we know, around the country, and Exeter will be one of those in this tier 2 competition that will be very hungry to win the league as well. But SGS being red hot favourites, I've got every faith that they'll go on to perform not only this match but the rest of the season as well. We go lots of pressure on from SGS here. 7 unable to move. Russell with the ball gone out wide. And it's a walk in there for the SGS number 13, which is Parsons. Just walked through the defence there of Peter Symonds, and that's exactly what SGS would like to do, leading the game now 10-5.
A lovely move from SGS as they take the lead 10-5. It will be important to get this conversion into the posts. Can they do that? Mal Parsons, only ever first-year student in this side, getting his first try of the season.
Yeah, it looked like a nice back strike there off the back of the pressure from SGS, and that will really please the backs coach here at SGS Calpit. It'd be good. It'd be glad to see that his back's getting on the scoreboard this early in this early stages of the season.
Maybe one for the future. Ben Willoughby-Smith makes not only his debut as a first year, but he's also been announced as co-captain alongside injured Will Papp.
It's a really fantastic achievement for someone like Ben, who was a first year coming into this, and obviously, having his first sort of bite at Ace Rugby as well. It's a tough step up. It doesn't matter how good a player you are. It's always a tough step up, not just from an ability point of view, but from a physical stance as well. So it's a really fantastic opportunity for himself and Will Papp, who's a brilliant player at SGS, still returning from injury, to then co-captain the side together. He'll learn loads from this first season as a player and as a captain. So Peter Symonds with the line out here inside the SGS 22. Not a very authoritative sort of throw into the line out there, but they have maintained possession. Disruption at the breakdown there from Carter.
The ball was dropped, but they still have the ball. But now SGS intercept. The ball is quickly driven up the line.
Yeah, well read defensively there. Then you could see like the speed that Evan Russell's demanding from his SGS boys. You can tell that in the early stages, this is all about tempo, moving the ball into space early, and then trying to execute from there. Unfortunately, it was a little bit of a drop there from the SGS boys, but their defensive pressure is fantastic at the moment.
Some lovely passes, unfortunate to be intercepted by the opponents. Some great defensive players.
Yeah, it looks like we're going back for the knock-on from SGS on the wing, but you can see again in transition there just how quickly SGS are to react. As soon as that ball was lost, they went from attack to defence. They were able to apply the pressure and kill the play as soon as they could there. So, not an ideal situation to knock on the ball, but if I was a coach, I'd be pretty pleased with how quickly we are to react from a transitional point of view. So Symonds with the scrum on the far right-hand side of the kennel pitch. Pretty solid scrum again from SGS here. Very solid. Symonds have done well to look after the ball there. Just having that pressure on the scrum really, really allows SGS to get on the front foot defensively. You can see there, round the breakdown, the pressure that they're putting on and not allowing Peter Symonds to move the ball away into the wider channels. And again, it's created a transition for SGS here. And they've earned a penalty from it. Really, really good pressure from SGS. Russell's gone quickly. Again, more examples of that tempo, and they've earned another penalty advantage from this, which they'll get now after the knock-on.
The ref making a lot of early decisions this game, a very authoritative kind of guy.
So kick to the corner from Symonds. Looks like he's missed touch. That's an error. Peter Symonds maintained possession there. Again, looks like SGS going to have to transition. Can they win this ball back after not finding touch?
Ball is kicked out of play, and SGS will have possession once again.
Again, if I'm looking at the positives from this, not ideal to miss touch, but the pressure's been put on. They forced Symonds to kick out from their own try line, and possession looks to be within inside the Symonds 22, which is probably where SGS would have ended up had they actually made the kick. So here's a maul here for SGS. Opportunity. They're going strongly here. Peter Symonds is struggling. I can see it's been a score. They keep going. Good patience from SGS. Symonds trying to stop and put the brakes on this, but it looks like... No, they have. They've just stopped short. So the backs are forced to play. Looking to go out wide here. Looks like Bruno Lamb with the crossfield kick. And it's been caught by Cassidy. They go wide again. Here goes Lamb again. And it looks like he's been stopped short. Russell there with a little snipe and go. And he's very, very good at that as he gets over the line for SGS's third try of the day.
That is a massive advantage around half an hour into the game. It's going to be 15-5. Can they finally convert a conversion this game?
Yeah, we can see there just from the maul. A good setup, a good drive. It allowed SGS to get that momentum going forward. It's very, very tough to stop if you're in opposition when you've got a well-organised maul. SGS went out the back then. It was Bruno Lamb with the crossfield kick, which wasn't scored by Cassidy on the first attempt. SGS looked to attack the short side again. And then Evan Russell, as I said, he's very, very good at those sort of snipe and goes there. And he was able to find his way over the whitewash to score SGS's third try. So Bruno Lamb with the conversion attempt. And it looks like it's been missed. I believe they got the second conversion, so I think it's 17-5 to SGS now. 25 minutes on the clock, 10 to go in the first half.
12 points ahead. Now for SGS. Peter Symonds will be looking to come back from that. Some great defensive action I've seen so far, but it looks like SGS has been way too tough and strong for them.
And I think, with those early nerves of that try being conceded, it's not ideal, like I said, but it can actually settle you. It can allow you to then, put yourself in the right areas of the pitch. And SGS have gone and done that. And, despite a few unforced errors, they've actually been very, very good since that period, since that first try. They regain the kickoff here again. And it looks like they're looking to play out this time rather than kicking, which not a bad idea with this wind going into their faces in the first half after a good carry there. However, they have lost the ball forwards, so Peter Symonds will have the scrum advantage.
Good player I've seen so far, number 11, Cassidy, who just drives on, gets on with it, gets past the opponent, not scared of anyone. He's creating a lot of attacking plays so far.
Loads and loads of pressure coming from SGS defensively here, and I think Symonds they're probably struggling to adapt with the intensity of the SGS defence at this moment in time. I'm seeing a lot of what we call one-out rugby, so the ball being passed once and not moving into another channel there, which is forcing them back in towards the breakdown. This will suit SGS an absolute treat. So yeah, I think it's working well for SGS at the moment. As I said, strong breeze going into them. They're looking to keep the ball in hand more than kick it at this stage. But I really, really do feel this game's going to open up for them if they can continue with this intensity and tempo in their defensive play.
Put into the mixer. One by Peter Symonds again. The referee.
Yeah, scrum pen to Symonds there. I think it was to do with the bind from what I can see from his action there. So look, an opportunity here for Symonds to kick to the corner. I think this will suit them. I think this is an area that they're really, really trying to target on SGS, but I've been encouraged by what I've seen from the SGS maul defence so far. Kick only made about 10 metres up the pitch, so it's a long, long way out for the Peter Symonds forwards to drive here. So I'm sure they'll look to have a go, but I'm probably guessing this ball will come out here.
Nice throw, won by Symonds. Now, great defensive work to push the college back. They're still in possession now. Some lovely passing along the line.
Yeah, again, it seems SGS look relatively comfortable there. And there's a forced error from Symonds. I believe that's gone for it. It has. So, yeah, a half break there from Symonds, which was well tracked back by SGS, and they forced the knock on. Overall, like I said, I think SGS look very comfortable at this moment in time. I think just a bit more a tidy up around their actual tackles that they're making. I think they're going to find themselves in a lot more dominant position. Still 17-5 here to SGS with about 7 minutes to go until half time.
Harry Morse is your hooker. Makes his first appearance after coming back from injury after 11 months out.
And that's a credit to Harry as well. And from what I've seen myself, he's worked extremely hard during pre-season. Here's Symonds down the wing. He's moved the ball into the hands of Cassidy, who's continued the momentum up the pitch. SGS want to play quickly here with all this momentum they've got to stay on top of the opposition. Here we are, moving the ball early, but the quality of passing is kind of taking away a bit of the momentum here. Lamb tidies there, and he offloads there to Rory Larson. Again, SGS on the front foot. Can they stay on top now? Yeah, Symonds trying to slow the ball down. They've done a good job there. And another unforced error. Knock on there from SGS. So more transition here for both teams. Symonds from defence to attack and SGS attack to defence. Knock on there from SGS. No advantage coming from it. So scrum down, Peter Symonds.
Scrum quite far up the pitch, but Symonds will take this, looking to counter afterwards. They're quick in possession.
Yeah, midfield scrum as well for Symonds, albeit they're in their own half, but it's a fantastic attacking opportunity for them. I looked a bit cheeky there. It looked like a hand in the scrum from Symonds. Yeah, there it was. So penalty there to SGS. Again, I think that's probably a compliment to the pressure the SGS are putting on at set piece at the moment. So yeah, a forced error there, or SGS forced an error from Symonds, and they've gained a penalty from it.
Thought that looked pretty clear from here.
Symes is kicked. Yeah, he's made touch this time, and that looks to have made the 22-metre line of Peter Symonds. So after seeing SGS with the maul the last time, I expect they'll be doing the same again. Let's see if they can get over the line. Fantastic shot in the background there as we were just, as a cameraman sort of panned to the right. You could see the Red Roses have actually started their training session, which is open to our college students to come and watch today, which is a fantastic opportunity for them.
England, the world number ones, certainly an achievement for them.
Russell with a little snipe and go again. He's just short. And it looks like Sam Morris has made it over the line this time. So another score for SGS. Takes the scoreline without the conversion, with the conversion to come. Sorry, 22-5.
Sam Morris, what a player! Obviously, last match, 8 out of 8 tackles won, 1 turnover, and 70% dominance. And now getting the try to make it 22-5.
Yeah, 22-5 conversion to come. Yeah, it's part of the game plan, isn't it, for SGS? You know, win the penalty, they're able to kick the corner, they really back their set piece there, and it's doing them favours. You know, they're winning the possession, they're executing their set piece, and they're able to get over the line and score these points, which is crucial. And there's a conversion from Lamb, so takes the score to 24-5 with a few minutes to go until half time.
Second conversion of the game from Bruno Lamb. A huge advantage, almost going into half-time for SGS. Symonds will be certainly looking to come back from this in the second half.
They will, and although the first half isn't over yet, I think SGS mindset now will be about, yes, we love to go and score again, but it's probably more key that we don't concede at this stage. So they'll just be looking to manage this situation, get through to half-time, gather together and just talk about what their plan is going to be for the second half. And probably talking about that, I'd probably say it's going to be more down to their execution. You can see their systems in place and the way they want to play, but skill execution is what's letting them down at the moment, and what's keeping Symonds within touch and distance of this game. As Larson leaves the ball, yeah, the ball's gone dead, so be back to the centre of the pitch.
8 minutes to half-time. Symonds will be applying pressure.
So SGS with the scrum here, middle of the pitch. Again, as I said for Symonds when they had one earlier, it's a fantastic attacking platform to go from. And knowing the likes of Bruno Lamb in the backfield, someone that's very, very good at scanning the space and looking for and executing the opportunity, he'll be really looking forward to having a go at this Peter Symonds defensive line.
Harry Morse throws it in.
Great effort on the scrum there, though, from Peter Symonds, which has not allowed SGS to get a clean launch. Larson with a great carry, though. Here's Morse. That's a great tackle from the Peter Symonds, number 6. SGS maintain possession, though, still going forwards, which is key. Just need a bit cleaner ball at that breakdown to allow him to play with this tempo. Here's Lamb with the line break. Offloads there to Parsons. Parsons out to Cassidy. Cassidy, can he keep the ball in play? He can, but it looks or it appears to be knocked on there. However, some of the offloading game in full flow there for SGS.
Cassidy once again on the wing. Almost getting a try, but drops it at the last second, but making the pass.
Encouraging signs again, you know, picking up from the scrum from Larson, getting the SGS boys over the gain line to give us that momentum that we require. And then Lamb with the break, he was able to offload to Parsons, who then offloaded out to Cassidy. So again, some really encouraging signs for SGS there in open play. Loads of pressure applied there from SGS on the back of the Peter Symonds scrum. Penalty to Peter Symonds, though, I believe. Again, struggling to see the signal why, but it is a penalty to Peter Symonds. That's just to be disappointed there. Would have wanted Symonds to be forced to play out of their half, or at least kick it out, but to give the penalty away is just a bit of a piggyback up the pitch for them. So a bit of release of pressure for Symonds. Can SGS make up for that by applying pressure at the Peter Symonds line out now?
Very late in the first half. SGS has a huge dominant advantage. Score is 25-5.
24-5 at the moment, yeah, to SGS. So the 4 tries, 2 conversions. It can't be long left. It must be within a minute now of half time. So again, SGS won't want to concede, and doesn't look like they will. Looks like they're going to have an opportunity to play here from the knock-on. So Symonds looks to move the ball wide. Good movement of the ball again. Lamb makes a line break. Offload to keep the play alive again. Just chopped short of the line. Russell's there, though. Looks to move the ball. Here he goes again. He's having a little snipe. Can he get over? Looks like he has. Referee's not sure, but I'm pretty sure there it is. Evan Russell with another try. Fantastic end to the half for SGS, who then go on to make the score 29-5 with the conversion to come.
This is turning into an absolute riot now. Symonds College surely should be disappointed with this. Words are going to need to be said at halftime.
Yeah, it's a very encouraging signs, though, for Peter Symonds in the early stages. As I said, a brand new team into the Ace League setup. You know, in a few years' time, when they're a bit more established, they're going to be a strong side. And as I said, with the backing that they have from Bath as well, they're definitely going to get that support. So, yeah, it's been a very, very good start for SGS. I think they'll be delighted with the scoreline. However, I think the coaches will want to see better execution within the attack for SGS, and there's the conversion. So 31-5 going into half time.
And we're now going to pass over to our presenters, who are sat with Martha and Lily, who both played in our SGS Women's Game win in our first game this morning. So, Harry, over to you.
Cool. So that was a great start for the SGS men's, and I'm here with 2 of the women's team who you played very well. Played very well in the game. It was a good game. How was the feeling going into the game? Was there nerves, or what's up with you, Martha?
Yeah, I think we were all a bit nervous, but there was definitely excitement in it.
How about you, Lily?
I felt a bit intimidated going in because I knew a lot of the girls are older in second years, but I feel like once I got into it within the second half, I felt confident.
That's very fair. First half was very strong. It was a very, very, very strong first half. How does it feel to be part of that? Obviously, Lily, you weren't, but Martha, how did it feel?
It was definitely cool. They had some big strong goals, so it was quite scary. But once we got into it, it was like just kind of the motions in it.
They look a very physical side. It looked like you beat them on pace in basically every position, but it looked like they were quite a physical team to come up against.
Yeah, they were definitely quite strong. Their tackles, quite a few of them had good tackles, but it's just the running around them. We used our pace to get round.
Yeah, that round that left-hand side, we did very well in the start of that first half. Or that, yeah, fullback. Yeah. So then half-time came about, and it looked like not Peter Symonds, that's the men's. Henley came out with almost like they'd been told that remember, just think of it as 0-0. This is first half all over again. They came out really strong in that second half. So how was it like suddenly coming out and they're still fighting strong, not heads gone down or anything?
I think it was quite good. It's nice to see teams not getting their head down when they're losing, because I know personally it's hard to keep your head up and keep playing, but it's nice to see that they actually were giving it a go.
How about you?
I think it was quite inspiring to see a team know that they haven't fully lost it yet. If that makes sense, and they had to continue and they never gave up on anything.
Well, they kept it tight in that first half. Was it 3-1 that second half? Yeah, they got one, which is held up a couple of tries as well for SGS. It was pretty good, and it looked like a strong defence from SGS. Unlucky to get that one try, but it was good. How did you feel?
I think overall the game went quite well. We obviously that was off the back of a loss last week, but we've pulled it together. We worked on our defence. We worked on our rucking, because that was our big issue we had to work on. So I think we've done quite well.
Everything looked really strong. Thanks, girls, for your time, and back to the commentary team.
Hi there, my name's Alex, and I'll be taking over for Leo in the second half. Still here with Matt. Matt, what did you think of the first half performance from SGS and Peter Symonds, really?
Yeah, I think, as I said, very, very nervy sort of start for SGS. But they found their way themselves into the game very, very quickly, and they went and scored. And already, what we said, 5 tries scored in that first half, so bonus points secured. I think there'll be there'll be a lot of encouragement from an SGS point of view that they've scored those tries without actually being anywhere near the best of their game, which is first game of the season. Getting up to that match pace and getting yourself into the flow that you want to. It does take a bit of time, but I think they'll be encouraged at the fact that they've scored those tries without being anywhere near their best. But I think they'll want to see an improvement on their skill execution and just show a bit more flow to their play in this second half.
Quite a cagey game to start. Peter Symonds scored first, but SGS bounced back. Do you think the scoreline reflects what we saw in the first half so far?
I think it does. In fairness to SGS, I think. Symonds, as I said, they're a new team coming into this Ace League. It's very tough to adapt to, the intensity that's required, especially for a well-established team like SGS, who's been running for 20-odd years. So, I think it does justify it, and I think we'll probably see SGS, as I said, they will find, as you can see, right from that first tackle there. There's a bit of energy straight away. I think if they find that flow, then they will go on to score a lot more points in the second half.
Yes, very, very good opinion.
So it looks like it's been kicked out from Symonds there. It's important to note as well, not that this can win you games as such, but SGS do have the slight slope advantage, but also, unless the wind's changed in the last 15 minutes, they will have the wind as well. So we may see a bit more kicking in the second half from SGS if they want to make use of the wind, but they look comfortable in hand. And as you can see there, who's this? Looks like Symonds in the attack there.
Yes, looks like we'll have to see if they can play to their strengths with the wind and the slope for this second half.
So we're about 2 meters short of the line. SGS very, very close to scoring here. Crossfield kick coming from Bruno Lamb. He's using the wind to his advantage. Looks like a very good way to kick. So from what I can see from our angle, it was a fair contest in the air. It came off the shoulder of a Peter Symonds player, bounced into the head of an SGS player, and it was a race for who could put it down first. And it seems like Symonds were able to get the touch on the ball, which is why they're having a goal line dropout.
Yes, very unlucky from SGS there, but Peter Symonds to get us underway again.
Fantastic option from Bruno Lamb. You could just see the skill of the guy, being able to put a crossfield kick in like that, on the money, challenging the opposition there. All it needed was to be taken, and then that would be SGS scoring in the corner.
Yeah,
however,
very threatening cross. Any other time that could well have been a try.
Absolutely, and I guess the benefit of this as well is, despite the fact they didn't score, they actually will receive the kickoff from the goal line dropout now. So it should be another opportunity for SGS to have an attack here. So they've come out the blocks very, very quickly in the second half, which I expected them to.
Their halftime team talk seems to have been quite effective. They've started very strongly again.
So just a bit of a delay here. It seems there's a bit of an injury to one of the Peter Symonds player, maybe sustained during that crossfield kick collision. So time off at the moment as well. Just important to note, SGS, they do have an open event coming up on the 15th of October, I believe. So if there's anyone that's watching the live stream that is interested in studying at SGS and is looking to come here to play rugby like these young men are today, please keep an eye on our social media pages, which will be updated soon with information about college open events and the rugby open event as well. So it seems the Symonds player is coming off from that injury, which is unfortunate. Time's back on here, so it would be a goal line dropout from Peter Symonds. Yep, still waiting. I think we're just waiting for the sub to get on the pitch, which it seems to. So the ref's blown up the whistle for the clock to be back on. So ball back in play in the next few seconds. So kicking into the wind, Peter Symonds. It's received about 30 metres out from SGS. There's a bump there from the carry from number 20. Another very direct carry from the SGS boys and good work in the breakdown. Looking to maintain that speed. It's a great offload play there.
Yeah,
Is that McKinney and just short of the line?
Straight back into full swing here. A couple of rucks already. SGS still with possession though.
There they go, just short of the line again. I think that's Corbett who was trying to reach out. He's just shy of the line. It's double movement. Yeah, referees pinged him for a double movement there. Just to explain what that means is the player was held on the floor. So once you've done that, in terms of recycling the ball, you can't then make another forward movements towards the try line, which is what Corbett tried to do there. However, as we said, going into the wind, it's going to be very, very hard to kick exit for Peter Symonds here. And you can see that they've made about a 15-metre gain up the pitch. So SGS, they'll want to be disciplined here. They won't want to give any penalties away, but they certainly will be challenging and turning the screw on Peter Symonds here. But really, if it was me, I want Peter Symonds, A, trying to play out from here, or B, trying to kick out, which will give us an opportunity in a very, very good attacking position. And there's the pressure from the line out. Yeah, move the ball into space early. However, just another execution error with the skill there. So the pass looks slightly behind the receiver, and it's been knocked on. But the boys in the scrum look hungry for this, so we'll see what happens from the scrum. Again, still in a very, very good position for SGS. It's a long, long way out of there for Peter Symonds. Yeah, another reset scrum. I think the ref's going to have another angle to see what's going on the other side here. But again, just keeping the pressure on Symonds. You know, all the pressure is on them. They're in their own half. They're 20 metres out from their own line. SGS don't need to be too rash here or go hunting for it too much. You know, they can just apply the pressure with a solid defensive set. If they can sort of compound that with a good set of phases, or they can go after the scrum like that. So turnover to SGS, picked up from the back of the scrum. Can they keep the ball alive now? Great hands there. And again, carried forward by Parsons. Carter with the carry. Looks to be very direct here, SGS. Just all about gain line ball, recycling the play, keeping the tempo up and what they're doing. Lovely wide ball across, and it's a walk in there for Parsons. That's a fantastic pass from the scrum half replacement.
Yeah, brilliant run and a fantastic vision to pick out that pass for another try.
It was definitely coming. All territory has been inside the Peter Symonds 22. And the only way they were going to get out of here was through a very good line break from themselves or by SGS scoring, which allows them to kick off. So, yeah, a fantastic bit of sustained pressure there from SGS, which has been rewarded by a lovely try from a fantastic miss pass there from the replacement 9. With Lamb to convert now. I believe that takes the score to 38-5. SGS.
Yeah, very, very, very easy conversion there, just to add a bit of a comfort, a bit of a cushion for SGS here.
Yeah, so Symonds kick off again. It's exactly the start SGS would have wanted after half-time. Again, just tighten up on their skill errors. If they can do that, then you can see the space is there for them. It's just execution and making sure that they can go and capitalise on all the opportunities that they're creating for themselves. So Symonds taking their time to get back to halfway. It's definitely taken a toll on them, the intensity and the levels of this league. And like I said, a well-established team like SGS who have been very, very used to playing this standard for a number of years. As I said, hot favourites for the Tier 2 league this year. And they're showing glimpses of why at this moment.
SGS seems to be in full stamina, ready to go again, not showing any sign of slowing down.
I think the coaches will also be very impressed with how the subs have come on and they've impacted on the game in a positive manner straight away. They've added tempo to it. Bruno Lamb, it seems like he's moved into 10. He's just put a fantastic kick down the pitch there, making use of the wind right on the try line of Symonds. But that's a fantastic bit of play from their fullback here, who's got up to 35 metres away from his own line. That's a fantastic carry. SGS looking to put pressure on the breakdown, but Symonds have maintained possession as they carry over the gain line again.
A lot of ground covered with that Peter Symonds run, and they should see to push forwards even more now.
The referee's blown for a penalty, SGS offside. So a fantastic kick from Bruno Lamb to put the pressure on Symonds right on their try line, but the exit there from the fullback of Peter Symonds was fantastic, and it seems like they've earned a penalty for their team there, with SGS being offside. So, yeah, we want to cut out these errors, SGS, these penalties as well, because they're putting themselves in good positions, but then they're finding themselves back sort of where they came from, just because of a couple of penalties there. Attacking pressure for Peter Symonds then inside the SGS half for the first time in this second half. Competed in the air by SGS, but Symonds have regained possession. Let's see what the defensive set of SGS could be like. Phil Clark with a huge hit there. It's a good offload though from Peter Symonds. Keeping the ball alive. Maintaining possession. Looking to attack the blind side. And there's a turnover. Offload to Caden Corbett, who's on hand to receive it, and he's now made a barnstorming run. Not held on the floor there, so he's able to get back up and have a go. However, the referee disagrees, and he's taking it back for what I believe is either a forward pass or knock-on from Peter Symonds. Yeah, knock-on. So scrum down, SGS.
Getting started again from the scrum here.
So scrum SGS. Look for an early back strike. That's excellent. Simon on that pass. Lamb there with the delayed pass as well. It's just skill. Again, the execution of the pass is just slightly behind the players, but it's a fantastic line break from Bryce Sharif, who will go under for SGS there. They've done really, really well. Just with the passes slightly behind the player, but to keep the momentum, keep the tempo in their play. A fantastic attacking set from the backs of SGS.
Yeah, like you said, Matt, brilliant attack. Strength in numbers from SGS. A lot of options there, but went straight through the middle and should have a fairly easy conversion.
So just really important to mention that this live stream, this broadcast has been brought to you by the SGS sports media students. Alex, is this your first year at the college?
Yes, it is.
How have you found these early weeks here at SGS?
I'm enjoying it. We're getting straight into it, and yeah, looking forward to see what's more to come.
Thrown straight into commentary duties as well.
Yes.
Yeah, fantastic coverage here and all the efforts that come from the SGS Sports Media and Journalism staff and students to bring you this live stream today. As Bruno Lamb converts for SGS to make the score now 45-5. We're about 10 minutes into the second half. It's been all SGS, to be honest. And they're not looking to settle up anytime soon. I think they're quite hungry to go for more.
Yeah, I don't think SGS will take their foot off the gas, really. They'll keep pushing Peter Symonds back for as high a score as they can. Obviously want to keep their defence strong, don't want to concede any more tries from Peter Symonds.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Alex. I think the messages there will be from the coaches is we don't want to concede again. You know, that we've given the opportunity once or twice, but we've held them out as we haven't dealt with the kickoff there. But yeah, we definitely won't want to concede again, and we want to lay down a statement by going on to score some more tries. We know it's the early stages of the season. There's a lot more games to come. There's some tougher games to come down the line as well as the season progresses. So it's really, really important for SGS to get off the mark with a big win today. And they seem to be heading that way at this moment in time. But they will want to see some more fluency in their attack.
Yeah, absolutely. Building a bit more squad morale, keeping a bit of a squad chemistry going.
Strong point has been around the scrums today for SGS, so let's see how they fare in this scrum for Peter Symonds. And it's a huge push from SGS. Referees allowed to play. Symonds will have an attack here, but the backs have matched them defensively. That's a fantastic drive back from Parsons there. In the tackle, and SGS come flying out the line again. There's nowhere for the Symonds boys to go. Just need to be careful that we're not too hasty at the breakdown here and that we force a penalty. By all means, attack it as the ball rolls out there. Yeah, double tackle. You can see the boys now, the confidence in their defence. They're flying up. They're making double shots. They're really putting loads of pressure on, which is now forced Symonds to find some go forward for a kick. And because of that sustained pressure, SGS will have a line out taken back to where the kick was taken from.
Really complete defending there. No signs of any gaps there. Very, very confident from SGS.
So sub-hooker, Phil Clark, he'll be the one throwing the ball into the line-out. Line-out seems to have functioned very well again today, as has the scrum. So all set piece firing for SGS, giving a really, really good platform for these guys to play off.
Yeah, it's very important to see them keeping their possession from their line-outs, from their set pieces. Just want to build on that now and keep driving forwards as they have been all game.
So again, although possession went backwards, didn't quite go to hand, SGS have maintained it and they continue to play, which is good. They are picking up the scraps, which is the main thing. They're not allowing the ball to be turned over. Just again, if they can find that fluency in their play, I think after 3 or 4 phases of play, we've seen already today that they will find the space. And when they can attack it, they're so dangerous.
Yeah, and like you said, very good at keeping possession, preventing any turnovers here.
So a little chip over for Bruno Lamb. It's been dealt with by Symonds, but it's been stolen. And out of nowhere, SGS seem to have stolen possession. It looks like they've gone over for another try here. And they have. Score now 50 points to 5 to SGS College. Not sure how that happened, actually.
Looks like a fairly wide attempt for a conversion. Let's hope SGS can add another 2 points.
Yeah, it was kind of interesting how that came about. In all fairness, it was the space was in behind, so a chip was put over by Bruno Lam there. Followed up by the SGS kick chase to really apply that sort of pressure. Initially, I thought Symonds had done quite well to get out of that corner of the pitch, but whoever the try scorer was, that was a fantastic steal within the tackle, and they've gone on to walk in underneath, well, into the corner of the pitch. So he's not quite shot at the moment, but Lamb with the conversion. I'm not sure if he got that or not, I'm afraid. So the score is either 50 points to 5 to SGS, or if the conversion was successful, 52-5. So about 15 minutes or so left in this fixture, this opening Ace League game in the men's Ace League. SGS boys putting on a pretty good performance overall, I would say. They'll be delighted with this first game of the season. A, to get that win. B, to get that bonus point. And to show signs of how dangerous they could be. Not just in attack, but how dangerous they could be defensively and how they can sort of compile these phases together. Very, very intense in the defence. And I think that will be most pleasing about this today.
Yeah, this will be a very crucial win for SGS to show how important it is to get on winning form from the get-go, and very confident scoreline should help them with their team morale.
So Symonds kick off again. It's caught by SGS, who immediately look to launch an attack. That's some fantastic play from SGS. What an exit. Here we go. Bryce Sharif down the line. If they can execute and finish this will be one of the best tries. Oh, that is fantastic. Straight from the kickoff, ball goes wide, ball pulled out the back, players into space, inside pass. What a try. They'll be delighted with that, and that's the sort of flow-in freedom that they want to play with.
Peter Symonds seemed a bit helpless in that attack. Very, very powerful, very hard run to stop, and yeah, very, very good break from SGS.
And that's just a kickoff well executed. You know, these are the sort of set piece plays that are worked on the training pitch, you know, throughout pre-season. You know, it looks so simple when it's done well like that. But I can tell you now that hours and hours of practice has gone into being able to run the plays and get the timing right, but also the skill execution behind it. So I really probably the pick of the tries of the day for SGS, and a really fantastic attack as Lamb does convert, I believe. Yeah. 59-5 SGS. Can they do the same again from the kickoff? So 59-5 to SGS, we believe. About 10-12 minutes left in this second half of the opening Ace League game for the boys under 18 season. Off the back of a great win for our women's team earlier as well, who beat Henley 41-5.
Yeah, brilliant result for the women's team as well. So a very good day for SGS all in all.
So here we go, attacking again straight away. Been absolutely relentless now, SGS, and this is what the coach will be saying. Let's be ruthless, let's go and attack. And here they go again. Ball out the back, out into the wide channel. It looks like Evan Russell is on the pitch. Has he got the legs for it? It's a fantastic tackle from the fullback, but he's kept the ball in play. And we're going a long way. Oh, sorry. Looks like a foot was in touch over here. Yeah, a foot was in touch. So I believe it's going to be a line out to Peter Symonds. But again, another fantastic attack there, straight from the kickoff from the SGS lads, who are really starting to be in full flow of their attack now.
Yeah, they really seem to have ironed out these attacks. Very successful.
Bit of an error for me there. It wasn't a foot out. It seems it must have been a forward pass, which is why we've come back for the scrum to Peter Symonds. But look at that drive from SGS again. Ball's out. They've done well to keep it there. Symonds, as they move the ball into space. And this is a bit of a breakaway. Good scrambled defence there from Lamb. Ball's gone back. Symonds maintain possession again. They've moved the ball into the wide channels. Great bit of footwork there from the winger, the right side winger for Peter Symonds. So SGS won't mind this though. Defensive set from the edge of the pitch. They can afford to be a bit more aggressive with their line speed. That's a great offload. So Symonds starting to put together a few phases of attack in play here. Looking to keep the ball alive, testing the SGS patience. As SGS turn it over, let's see what their transition's like from defence to attack. Yeah, knock on from Symonds there. There was some good build-up play from Symonds. Then moving the ball out to the wings, coming back in, keeping the ball alive, testing the SGS defence. But it's such a powerful weapon if you can offload the ball in rugby. You know, taking tacklers out the game, keeping the ball alive, keeping the speed and tempo in play. That was a real test for the SGS defence there, and they seem to have weathered the storm quite nicely. So time off for an injury here. Alex, just some thoughts from you about how you feel this second half's gone.
Yeah, it's similar to the first half, really. Very strong. Seemed very confident in their attacks, secure at the back. Not a lot of faults, really.
Anyone that stood out for you in particular?
I think Bruno Lamb, good conversions. And is it Morse with the long kicks? With the
no, I think it was Lamb as well, to be fair.
Lamb as well, yeah. So, yeah, really my standout.
Yeah, I think there's, especially in this second half, we've sort of started to see things click a bit more. And it'd be very encouraging, especially with the subs coming on. It'd be encouraging for the coaches to see that this wasn't just a performance from the starting 15, that all 23 players of the squad have had their say within this performance. And you can't go into any Ace season or Ace League with just 23 players. You know, we have a huge squad here at SGS across 3 teams. So, yeah, it's not just going to be the 23 on the pitch today. It's going to be those that are going to come in throughout the season. So it's very, very good signs for the coaches to see that those that are coming off the bench, they're seamlessly fitting into the way that SGS want to play. And they've been a big part of what's been a very, very free-flowing and well-executed second half so far.
Yeah, like you say, very good for the coaches to see everyone on the team shining just as bright as each other, showing a lot of potential the first years as well. Just all around reliable team, which will provide the coaches with a bit of comfort.
And I think additionally to that as well, you know, the changeover in teams each year, you know, there's never the same team for 2 years in a row. It's, you know, we've got a group of new students coming in this year that are then mixing in with those that were here the year before or even the year before that, if we have any third years in the team. So it can always be tough to get going right from the start, and it can take a few games for some of the players, especially if this is their first experience of Ace Rugby, to settle down. But I think we've seen today that, you know, despite some very early nerves from SGS, they've settled down and they've been dominant from about 2 minutes onwards after. So yeah, I think it's very encouraging from that point of view. And again, the coaches love to see the fact that these players that are new to the college are coming in and they're settling in such a manner the way they have today.
Yeah, other than that first try from Peter Symonds, it's all gone SGS's way really. No major scares, so taking that away from the game is a huge positive for SGS really.
I think credit as well to Peter Symonds, as I said, new into this league. I think they've shown some really, really good signs. They should be very encouraged about what their season is going to look like with some of the other games. Naturally, they're going to get stronger over the years as the program develops. So yeah, I think there's been some encouraging signs. A tough place for them to come today and play SGS, especially in their home patch. But here we go again. Look, you know, showing some of their quality here, keeping the ball alive, moving it into space. That's just a fantastic turnover there from SGS. Great technique. Low, over the breakdown, looking to play quickly again. Here we go. On the attack, SGS just knocked on. Symonds looking to play again. So a bit of freedom, a bit of freedom for Peter Symonds to play here and living off some of the SGS errors, which is they'll be more than happy to do.
Yeah, that's the only real problem I can see is quite a few penalties given, quite a few errors made, but other than that, attacking, very strong, very clinical. Just minor negatives to take away, but overall, very good performance.
Yeah, and it's important, that you mentioned the penalties there, because they're not unavoidable. That's the thing. I think you can put it down to a lot of eagerness to get off the line, which means we're potentially creeping offside or looking to make that turnover, which isn't necessarily there and stuff. But that will come with experience and a bit more time on the pitch, and different referees as well have different interpretations. So it's just about managing those different situations and scenarios on the pitch. But nothing to be alarmed by. Things that could be easily fixed and worked on going into next week.
Yeah, like you say, the darting runs, getting caught slightly offside, not really a major issue, just a bit of fixing up for the SGS, but on the whole, just showing a lot of eagerness, showing a lot of readiness, and they seem like they'll fit in very well in this league, should do very well this year.
Yeah, I fully agree with you. As some of the SGS players receive some treatment here. I think that's Connor McKinney, who's making his way back into the scrum now. But time is back on. Peter Symonds scrum on the right-hand side of the pitch, just outside the SGS 22. As the ball gets fed in. That's a strong scrum again from SGS, but Peter Symonds have really weathered that nicely. Here they go with a bit of flair themselves as they move the ball out into the wing, but there's good coverage there from the SGS defence. Here we are on the edge of the pitch, and that's a fantastic tackle, almost like a judo-style throw into touch, which gives SGS line-out possession. So Phil Clark, the replacement hooker for SGS. SGS clearly trying to keep tempo on the ball, and that ball wasn't gone to plan there. So Symonds again with a bit of possession, a little bit scrappy in the last 5 minutes or so for SGS, conceding possession. Working hard to try and get it back and then losing it straight away through errors.
Yeah, I think Peter Symonds might feel slightly hard done by that they haven't scored another try in this game. They've had a few convincing attacks, but SGS's defence has been very solid and very convincing.
So knock on from Symonds. Let's see what SGS can do from inside their own half from this scrum. The last couple of attack strikes that we have seen have been excellent. With the result looking like it's heading SGS's way, there's definitely a bit more freedom of play here. So with Symonds on the pitch, he'll be looking to pick the right option here, and then it'll be about, can we keep the ball alive after that?
Yeah, not too long left now. SGS will just want to see out this result. Possibly push for another try or two, but overall, just a happy performance to go home with from SGS.
Yep, so ball in, moved out very wide right from the offset here. Seems to be the interception attempt, which didn't go to plan. Is this Russell down the wing? It is. Scrum half is having an absolute stormer, and now he's moved out to the wing in this second half. Another player who's been very creative, has got the tempo going for the SGS lads. However, another error from SGS, which has allowed Symonds possession. Looks to be a still attempt at the breakdown, but the referee's asked him to leave it alone. And they maintain it again, Symonds. Looking for a second score in the game. Kick attempt, charged down by Symonds, who's hungry to try and get on that ball. And the attempt at the break, it wasn't Symonds, my apologies. The attempt of the follow-up to try and steal the breakdown there hasn't come to fruition for SGS. Symonds looks kicked corner. So touch has been found in a dangerous attacking position for Peter Symonds. Must only have a couple of minutes left on the clock now. Current score 59-5 to SGS, what's been a very convincing performance on the opening day of the Ace League.
Line out taken from Peter Symonds here, and SGS win possession brilliantly, as they have been doing quite often this game. They've been very good at the turnovers.
Absolutely, and they're looking to transition again. Ball into Russell's hands, who is technically playing out of position. He was playing scrum half in the first half. He's been moved out to the wing in the second. But he's played very well. He's looked like a threat out there. As the boys carry again. Up over halfway now into the Peter Symonds half. Symonds with a kick across, making the Peter Symonds defence turn. That's a fantastic kick. I think he would have loved for that ball to stay in play so the SGS fullback and wingers could apply the pressure. However, SGS, they'll definitely put some more pressure on this line out. From a set piece perspective, they've been very, very good all day. So here's another chance for them to spoil this from Peter Symonds. And there it is, stolen again, ball moved away. Attacking the line with conviction. Possession retained. Boys moving the ball out the back, and here comes Russell again. They're very, very keen to get out there. Oh, hold on. I think the ref's blown up here because it looks like not a very nice injury. Yeah, Alex, I think you can see there the eagerness for SGS to move the ball as quickly as they can. So as soon as they've had a turnover, we're looking to move the ball into the wide channels, which is good from SGS. So a little bit of a break in play here.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the regaining in possession from the line-out's been very consistent from SGS, and their drives forward have also seemed very, very powerful.
So I believe with what's coming up, SGS are on the road next week. I don't have the fixture list in front of me, so apologies for not being able to tell you who, but I believe SGS are on the road next week for the men's Ace League. The girls actually have a bye week from the Ace League next week, but then they are away to local rivals Hartbury in 2 weeks' time, which will be a crunching match, especially off the back of today's very, very good win for the girls. So lots of rugby to come up. I believe the girls team have 4 Ace League games before half term, and the boys as well have 3 or 4 as well. So lots and lots of rugby to come up in this first term.
Yeah, we'll be looking forward to that. Just got to hold their heads high and go into every game with the same energy that we've seen today.
So breaking play there. I think it's probably coming towards the end of the match now, and with that in mind, I think Alex, you've got the honours and the duty to pick your man of the match for today's game.
Well, brilliant team performance, I'll say. First of all, couldn't have done it without any one of these players. But I'd say Bruno Lamb's been my standout player. What would you say, Matt?
I think, like you said, there's been stand-up performances from a lot of players as well. I think, as I've mentioned there, Russell's looked very, very dangerous from scrum half and on the wing. Willoughby Smith and Carter, they've gone about their work in the engine room, and they've made it very, very disruptive in the lineouts for Peter Symonds, which has not allowed them to have a clean launch. But I'd agree, the man that's been pulling the strings all day, started in the centre, he has moved into fly half. I believe he's been subbed off now, but I'd agree with you. So the man of the match, sponsored by the SGS Sports Media and Journalism department, has gone to Bruno Lamb, as selected by Alex here.
And with Willoughby Smith, this is his first year, and he's also slotted in as co-captain aside Will Papp. So brilliant to see him slotting straight into the team with a lot of confidence, a lot of eagerness, ready to go, bringing up his entire team.
So still time off here, just as we're having a bit of time to attend to a Peter Symonds injury. Yeah, I agree. And I think also as well is what we have seen in the second half. We've seen that sort of flow that I was asking SGS to bring in for the second half. You know, it was a little bit bitty in the first half where some of the skill errors weren't allowing them to get on the front foot as much as they want to. But second half, certainly, you know, they've gone out and they've scored some fantastic tries with potentially already a try of the season candidate from the kickoff. I'll be looking forward to seeing that back on the highlights, and I'm sure the coaches and the players will as well.
Yeah, definitely.
So 2 or 3 minutes left here. Once the game is concluded, you'll have a bit of a summary and a reflection from myself and Alex, and then we'll hand you over to our hosts in the studio, who will then finalise the day and talk what seems to be a very, very good day for the SGS Rugby Academy on the whole. As we said earlier, the women winning their game 41-5 versus Henley College in the opening round of their Ace League game, and the boys currently 59-5 up versus Peter Symonds here in their Ace League game as well. Just to mention, although we haven't had a result in yet, the SGS second team boys, they're actually on the road today at Beach and Cliff for a pre-season fixture. They start their league next week as well. Just to mention as well, they're actually the champions, or the holding champions of the AOC league at the moment as well. So a fantastic opportunity for those guys to get back out on the pitch and try and defend their championship.
It was good to see SGS with such a convincing performance here today, considering they went down with the first try. They were behind, and a lot of the time that can go a bad way for them. It can cause it could have caused Peter Symonds to have their heads held much higher, much more ready for it, but SGS bounced back perfectly. Showed readiness to every attack from Peter Symonds in the second half. Haven't conceded a single try, and it's been a very dominant performance in the second half.
And good news for Peter Symonds, the lad that was down injured then seems to have walked off the pitch unaided by the physios. That's fantastic news for him and his team. So time back on here in the dire moments of this opening Ace League game in the men's league. SGS currently winning 59-5. We have a scrum in play here. I have no doubt SGS will look to score from first phase here. Through the backs, the scrum's dominant, which is giving them a good launch to play from, and you can see just from these from today's set piece that SGS have a very, very dangerous back line. So let's see what they can launch off this scrum. So across straight away, you can see the intent there, but unfortunately the pass didn't go directly to hand, so Peter Symonds have possession once again, albeit deep inside their half. Just not letting off out of the SGS boys in defence though. As soon as that ball gets turned over, they're on it straight away, and there's another example of a fantastic double shot in defence from SGS.
Yep, definitely firing into those tackles. Desperate
Symonds
to regain
forced to
possession.
kick. Symonds forced to kick there. Another line-out opportunity here for SGS. About 35, 38 metres out from the Peter Symonds try line. Ball taken cleanly from Sam Morris.
Yeah, pinpoint right on him. No contention whatsoever.
It's another great attack. Here we go. Oh, that was on. That was on. Could have been a fantastic finish that to this game. Just a knock on there, but you can see again the intent. Just the SGS backs really carving through the Peter Symonds defensive line there. However, I'm sure the big boys in the scrum here, they won't be disappointed to have yet another opportunity to scrum and try and turn over possession for Peter Symonds, an area that SGS have been very strong at all day. And there we go. Look at that. Huge shove from the SGS boys. Symonds again have done very, very well though to retain possession there. Bit scrappy at the breakdown, turnover opportunity. And the ref has said that the turnover has been done illegally, so Peter Symonds will have the opportunity to clear their lines. So, as it was a penalty to Peter Symonds, and they've kicked the ball into touch, they do get the line out as well, which they've kicked about 15 metres up the pitch. So they're just outside their own 22. So although it's a bit of a release for them, SGS will still be encouraged by the position that they're in here on the pitch. I know we keep saying it, but I believe there is only a minute or so left on the clock. Okay, time back on. Peter Symonds line out. SGS looking to compete. Morris, Willoughby Smith in the lineup there. There it is, disrupting again. They've had an absolute stormer in the lineup today. Quick movement of the ball from SGS. Sharif challenging down this far left wing. Possession retained for SGS. Good front foot position. As they look to carry again, they found gain line ball. They keep going forwards. Can they maintain this tempo and this intensity?
It seemed almost routine, SGS winning the ball back from the line out, turnovers in possession from almost every set piece.
Chip over top, maybe not the worst of ideas, just a little bit long in terms of where the kick would have liked to have gone. So a bit of an execution error there, but you could see the options that are available to SGS through the middle, out wide, over top. It's just now about picking the right option at the right time and then executing the skill. So, scrum time. Peter Symonds inside their own 22. Playing into the breeze on the kennel pitch at SGS. Another huge scrum from SGS. Symonds looking to run out from their own half. Fullback looks to have done very well there. Steps off the left, steps off the right. Gains a bit of territory for his team, but the counter-ruck looks strong from SGS. Nope, Symonds have maintained it, and they've looked to kick the ball downfield. Here we go. Counter-attack rugby for SGS. Can they move the ball into space early and pick the right option? Sharif, out wide. Here we go. It's going to be a walk-in for SGS, and another try for the under-18s ace first team. Taking the score now to 64-5 to SGS with conversion to come.
Yeah, that must feel rewarding for them. Been pushing it for quite a long time now. Went a fairly long time without a try, considering how convincing they've looked in attack. But good to see them get one more right before the end.
And I believe this will be last play as well now. So conversion to come. A very, very convincing performance from SGS. A scrappy last 15 minutes, you'd probably say. But it looks like they found a way through again. They've put pressure on in the set piece area. When the backs have had ball in hand, they've looked very, very sharp. They look to carve up the Peter Symonds defence, and they've done that very well today. So Lamb, Alex's man of the match, with the last kick of the game. He's made the conversion. And the final score here at the SGS Wise campus on the kennel pitch is SGS College 66, Peter Symonds 5. Alex, can you just summarise your thoughts from today's game, please?
Yeah, really entertaining game to see. SGS will feel very confident off the back of this. Huge win for them. Good start to the season. Peter Symonds, very resilient, never really gave up. Had a lot of convincing attacks, movements, but it was SGS's day today, and a very high-scoring scoreline will show that.
Yeah, fully agree with you. Yeah, a great opening day, a great opening start. Bonus point win for the SGS boys, and it gets their 2025-2026 league campaign underway with a very, very positive result. So, fantastic all-day round for SGS, with the women's team winning earlier against Henley College 41-5, followed up by a big win for the SGS men's under-18s ace team, who have won 66-5. We're now going to hand you back to the guys in the studio.
Just quickly, before you go back to this guys in the studio, apologies, you're going to have to hear my voice for just one more time. I'm just, before we go to the studio, I am, as the one of the teachers on the sports media course, I'm just going to give a big shout out to every student that has been involved today, to both rugby teams who had fantastic results, and to the sports media students who have ran this stream, from many of them getting in from 9:30 in the morning. We've had 3 different crews. We've had commentators, vision mixers, people working on the audio, cam ops, photographers. It's been a huge event with around 50 students getting involved. So if you want to show them some love, that would be wonderful. So just a big thanks to everyone involved. And speaking of students who have done a fantastic job today, I now am going to hand back to the guys in the studio. So Harry, James, over to you.
Thank you very much, Max. Welcome back. As you know, you saw a very entertaining game as SGS blitzed through Peter Symonds as it ends 64-5. Now, Harry, as you were watching the game, why do you think SGS ran through Peter Symonds that much? Do you reckon it was maybe due to lack of experience or lack of confidence, or what do you think?
I don't know. I thought Peter Symonds started very, very strong. I thought they started with a great mentality. They got the first try very early on, but I thought that SGS then eased into the game a lot more. They started to work their way into their attack and started to show their brute force and their dominance over that side, and it really turned into a rout almost at the end of it. It was like, it's a big, big score, and it's a frustrating first game for Peter Symonds. As you said, it's their first ever game in the Ace League, and it's a bit of a sad start for them, because it's not what they wanted to happen, but they got the try, they got what they wanted, and they did very well. I thought SGS did, and yeah, so we're gonna say goodbye to our viewers at home. We're gonna say see you next time. Go to our Instagram at SGS Rugby to see where the next fixtures are.
And to see some photos of the game.
Yeah, exactly. You get photos, you get updates, you get everything from the SGS team, SGS Rugby, and SGS Sports Media in general. So, until next time, see ya.
Bye.